already, so we will have to wait and see. I find that Vikla sometimes, when he plays against in a mid laner who's like the star player like Yukal is, he ends up kind of punching up and performing well.
Yeah.
See if that's the case here today.
Certainly was able to do that in the LCK Cup. That feels like a far cry away now, but did still happen in 2026 as Casio and the Orianna both taken away. Varus surprisingly not banned just yet, but maybe archery is like whether it's magical archery or not.
Thấy
is
chưa?
going to be banned away
Thấy cái
here
viễn
by
cảnh không? Karma còn
KRX
nguyên.
Ice archery, magic archery.
First
and
pick.
then the purple archery.
Yeah.
Bên nào cầm trước cái nhà? Bên này cầm
really
trước.
have another
Lazy View là được ưu tiên trước.
Blight archery?
First pick sẽ là con Karma.
What's the name? Like it's not arcane. Like the
Cam.
Right?
Wow, it's purple.
Well, it's like what?
Arcane's
Oh,
purple.
are you thinking of? It is gonna get banned.
Yeah,
but,
it is going to be the archery trio.
Yeah.
Đó, ba con xạ
I don't know what I would
thủ.
call it.
Bắt đầu thấy vào form chưa?
I mean,
Bắt đầu
it
thấy
is
vào form
blight.
này.
You're
But like, but I mean, like,
It's
Có thể là
Quiver
cấm một
is
con
blighted,
gì đó,
as they
đừng
say.
support được không?
I feel like there's another word for it that we could use that isn't blight, but anyway.
Oh, corrupted
Cấm dừng
archery.
đi, cấm
Corruption,
mid
yeah,
tiếp
that's the word I was
đi.
thinking. Like
Hey.
corruption type of thing.
Ui,
As
mẹ
here
là
is the
Karma biết
Karma ban, which I think
ngay.
was not really that surprising.
Cấm mất con Karma này thì cái thế đánh giờ hit nó lại là khó rồi.
He wants Jarvan for Willer.
There it is.
Cái
I think
tin
denying that
nhờ.
from Raptor also a very good idea.
Mình đang rình cái kèo first pick Karma để người ta cấm Karma ngay.
He went from being
Hỏng rồi, thế này lấy đâu ra giờ hit nữa. Cay
now
vãi
he's
view.
almost seeing play in every series.
Picking it away from the Jarvan comp still feels like a pretty good idea.
I think so. Maybe just go
Zin
Rumble
bạt à?
high and
Zin bạt, Zin Milio à?
play safe. Keep it simple, right? That's what we do. Keep it simple, Rise group.
Kissinger. And
Kissinger,
they'll
get it
look
done.
in the Rise as well.
Thế còn
Ryan's
Zin
priority's
Milio
been
thì
up a lot
sao?
today. Anivia is available for Yukal if he wants to play it. So look at the counter pick Cassante here for Rich, and he'll just play Annie.
Xạ thủ
we
chọn
are
sao?
Kissingering
Như vậy là
pretty
Lazy View
effectively
tự
here
vỗ
on
ngực
both
và nói với
sides.
những
The
người đồng
Annie's
nghiệp của
certainly
mình
one of
rằng
those options. The
Just
các
play
bạn
Vi,
cứ để tôi làm
Raptors.
kèo
Just play
khó.
Vi and
Cấm
keep
hết
it
xạ thủ
simple,
cũng
and we'll
được.
just keep the simplicity
Bể xạ thủ nó
potion
khá là rộng.
quite high, right?
Chơi
You know?
đi.
Yeah.
All that complicated stuff. No,
Because
Gonna
Cassante
play,
thì
don't
chắc
you
chắn
listen.
phải
He's
được.
gonna play Pantheon's. It fits into the Kissinger.
Don't you listen to your rap voice, and that one's hard. And by the way, this is like Raptor's iconic.
He does love
debut
this
pick.
champion.
He played this pick so much on Bro. And
Đây,
when he was an
Naughty
emergency
chuẩn
sub,
nhá.
and,
Thanh thang đoán chuẩn nhá.
yeah,
Cấm
he likes
Naughty.
Lee Sin a lot, but now no longer as simple to execute.
Bạt
this
thì đấy, như
composition.
các bạn nói thì Andy đánh bạt không ok thì chắc là chẳng cần
Alright.
cấm bạt.
More
Bốn
80
con xạ thủ.
carries that Taeyun is not allowed to
Cấm
play.
bốn con
Yeah, I
xạ
was gonna
thủ
say,
ạ.
like Lazy Field, what are you gonna play, buddy?
Đừng
Like,
cấm giờ hit là
gotta
được.
start focusing on that. As Andel, his most played champion this season
Có thể là
is
Mid
the
Fortune, chính
Nautilus,
xác.
and that will be taken
Đến cái
away
tầm này là
from
tôi
him.
đoán là Mid Fortune bởi vì có Annie này. Có
I did
Annie,
think
có
that they were
Zavan này.
probably heading towards
Khả năng là bên này phải cấm
Misfortune
Mid.
Nautilus.
À,
Yeah.
cấm bạt
The
à,
most
cấm bạt thì
simple
pick
of
Mid for.
simple.
These are,
Đội hình này đánh
in
Mid
fact,
for ngon
just
hơn.
the two Andel picks.
Caitlyn next.
Oh, it's got to be. I mean, you can't ban away the rest and then just leave that up. That'd be silly. It's Yunara instead.
Ui, 5
I
xạ
mean,
thủ thật ạ.
that's just a lot of 80 carries. Okay.
Nào,
I
bây giờ
think
các bạn
he
có pick Mid
probably
for
wants to play Caitlyn.
Caitlyn
I
Mid
don't
for
think he wanted to play Yunara necessarily, but he's laughing about it. He's like, I did not want to play Yunara. I wanted to play Caitlyn.
Yeah, and Caitlyn has often just been picked before
Biết là
any
khó
bans
nhưng mà mình có
come
thể chọn
in.
It's so
Zin
funny
được
because
không?
now like they
Mình có thể
banned
chọn
5
giờ hit
80
được không ạ?
carries, and
Biết
then
là
he
nó
still
không hợp
gets
lý
an
nhưng
S
cứ chọn
tier
được
80
không?
carry, and they're like, oh, we don't have any 80 carries left.
Yeah. I feel like maybe a mistake was made. MF is going to come
Mid
on
for
through.
thôi,
There
Mid
is
for
no
thôi, không khác được.
Nautilus to respond.
Thế
For
chọn
me,
ba con trước rồi
this
thì
is
chỉ có thể là Mid for thôi.
This is such a you
À,
need the
my bad,
Nautilus.
lại
Like,
lại
yes,
bể kèo
Rel
rồi.
is fine.
Mid for Rel,
Like, Rel is not a
okay.
bad pick. It works well with MF, but Nautilus is the guarantee. Rel requires, you know, you
Rõ
to
ràng ai mà
make
chả
the
thích
right
Mid
thing
for.
happen.
And into
Trong hoàn cảnh này là Mid for là
Caitlyn
đúng
Lux, it's going
rồi.
to be a very difficult lane. But the Kissinger
Đúng ạ, vâng, anh
is
em
so
không quy
strong
mặt quyền,
in
vâng,
this
anh em thông cảm tôi một
composition.
chút xíu nha,
My
thông cảm, thông
goodness.
cảm.
Magnet Storm, Bear on top, put a mountain
If you're
circle
gonna write,
around them.
if you're gonna write Kizzurg, right? KSRG, keep it simple, Rise Group. If you missed our last discussion about this, it's gonna be like that '90s S where you draw 3 lines.
Oh yeah, and
lines,
you connect
and
them all, and you feel cool.
That's the S that goes in the middle of Kizzurg right here for this composition. It's like the simplest thing. Anyone could draw that S. It looked cool on your friend's binder, but once you know how to do 3 lines,
Đi với cái kèo
it
Caitlyn
all
Lux này.
comes together just
Yeah.
like
Chắc chắn là một cái
You're
kèo
not
có lợi cho
impressed
Caitlyn với Lux.
anymore. Especially
Nhưng
if you
mà
just
nếu
follow like
như
lines
giai đoạn
on
đi
the
đường
page
mà
as
chỉ
well. Like
cần làm
sometimes the
tốt về
kids
chỉ
did
số
that,
lính cái
and
lần về
man,
nhà
it
đầu
was
tiên
very
bắt được cái
much
huyết
not
trượng ra ấy,
impressive that time.
thì tôi nghĩ là cái Mid
As,
for này vẫn có thể trụ được được.
I don't know how I feel about this. I especially don't know how I feel about QMDRX just throwing away 5 bans and then getting Caitlyn anyway. That was a weird thing.
I kind of think there's a lot of power in the early game here for BNK, and we know one thing that Taven has done very consistently, even in losses. When he gets a winning lane, he wins.
Early game.
And I'm very concerned about Lazyfield, who often does not, and struggles in the lane phase. That's what I'm most concerned about here for Kiwi.
Well, I do think that their top side is pretty straightforward, so they might be able to leverage an advantage there. But like you say, backs against the wall. Let's get into it.
Bye bye KRX nha. Mình fit tin. Fit tin.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the ref for game number 1, and the fans in full voice here today as, oh dear, Vikla is gonna have to flash.
Tốt.
Yeah, and they decide not to use multiple flashes to secure the kill there.
Yeah, there was a portion of my brain that was like, where are the 3 flashes over the wall to follow?
Yeah, I'm glad that they don't, because they really win by getting 2/3 of his health bar. They don't need to get all of it and lose all their sums and give BNK options on the rest of the map. But Vikla lost his flash because he wanted to make sure that he could slightly cover that bottom lane a little bit, make sure that they were going to be okay down there. He came over to be in the area, make sure no craziness was happening, also find out where Willer was pathing. And so he will have to make a large sacrifice in order for his bottom lane to be okay, but they will be okay. And that's, I think, for the early game in this draft, the most important thing. I don't think Vikla's going to mess this up and get solo killed by a stun here from UCAL or anything like that.
Yeah, surely not. Not in my Rise group. They're going to Kizzage you. They're going to keep it simple, Rise group, and they are going to not feed in the early game, Wolf. That's how it's going to go.
Ra sớm đi.
It's just going to be let's play it safe.
Vikla đang mất tốc biến nên ra sớm là ok này.
Safe Rise group as well is another one, but it's the same acronym, so we can just do the same for both.
We also do like to keep it sleepy Rise group as well sometimes in some of these early games.
It's mainly when it's QMDRX and NHANH and Brion. That does happen.
Mid một con nè, mid 2 con nè.
Yeah, tough lane state, missed 2 CS.
Oh dear, he's 4 behind. That is such a huge percentage of his farm at this stage of the game.
And the observers are on point and watching all this missed CS, but
got the cannon though.
Yeah, well,
nailing it.
All right, well, this laning phase we knew was not going to be enjoyable for QMDRX.
But at least they banned a lot of 80 carries, Wolf.
They did prevent Taven from playing
Pha xử lý vừa rồi của Anil khá phết đấy chứ. Bết. Anh làm xe to xong rồi bết đấy. Kích bản thì nó lên là như vậy. Có lợi thế từ đầu thì phải siết luôn. Phải siết. Yeah, okay.
You gotta win everywhere else.
Yeah, and they knew where the flashless Rise was. Doesn't have phase rush. He's got summoner phase rush in phase ghost, but he is not going to be able to use it to get out of this one. So they just kill him. And so I said, you know, you got to get first blow with the health advantage, but he gets some help. And now Vikla, who doesn't have teleport, is going to have to slow walk back to the lane.
No. Always feels very depressing.
He got a tier, though.
And UCAL can teleport, but he can also fast walk.
Yeah, because he has Swifties.
Đội bạn cũng ý là con Ra này cũng bị bất ngờ đấy, bởi vì cái vòng rừng của con Java lúc đấy nó hơi méo. Lúc đấy là hình như là mới ở cái thời điểm ăn xong 5 bãi thôi. Ăn đỏ xong ăn chim ra ganh luôn. Nên là cái thời điểm nó hơi bất bình thường một chút xíu, nó khiến cho Vikla không thực sự là để ý.
Mountain Infernal Cloud for the Earth, Wind and Fire. That would be glorious.
À đây nhiệm vụ đây để anh.
But it will be in a few months.
Số mạng hạ gục game field.
You know, like about 3 months,
số 5.
Almost in June.
5 mạng hạ gục.
Right, Rich kind of getting burned down here. Obviously, this counter pick that he went for in the Cassante isn't exactly a counter pick. You
can dưới này thì giai đoạn đi đường từ cấp 1 đến cấp 6 thì khổ là cái chắc rồi. Nhưng cái điểm mạnh của Rel với cả điểm mạnh của Midforter thì nó không nằm ở đi đường. Nó nằm ở giao tranh tổng. Cho nên là cứ phải để từ từ. Đối phương đánh được như thế này thì họ buộc phải làm vậy thôi vì chất tướng nó vốn thế. Còn Caitlyn mà không đè được farm thì đúng thật là
could happen.
Nên bỏ nghề thật, đi cái kèo này mà Caitlyn mà không đè được farm thì một là bị bên kia ganh hay như thế nào ấy thôi, chứ còn để mà kill ở khu vực đi đường này thì phải ép được farm. Đây này, Lazyfield đang mua cả lưỡi hái sớm để xác định là đánh farm thôi này.
He would run very
He would run really fast.
Maybe you don't need to kick flash anymore. You can just kick walk.
You go to kick them and then like your foot just slides off. It actually just prevents his kick from working. It's too swift.
Oh no, it's like that feeling when you go to kick a ball and
đấy,
you
phải
miss
nâng
the
E để farm
ball.
lính thì biết rồi đấy.
Oh, and it's just
Khổ
like
chưa?
super embarrassing, but also like it just feels.
Phải
really
lên
awesome.
E để farm
catch
lính
it
á.
with the back of your heel and you fall over.
Yeah, not that I've ever felt that.
Mà lên
before,
đồ
so
như thế
I'm
này
very
thì dừng
coordinated
không bao
man.
giờ
It's
xuống
okay,
ganh.
Tang
Các
gonna
bạn nhìn mà
Daniel's
xem.
really going in.
He is. Raptor is also here though as he
Đồ này thì
safeguards
có
his
Mid
way
Potter
over
làm
the
gì có
life
đam.
lining. He's
Sao lại
gorgeous
nhông
from
như
Kellen.
thế?
And Raptor is gonna lock down first.
Quả đấy
Oh,
không
well,
có
actually
một
the second
ui
one.
hay nha.
There is the flag and
Quay
drag
đâu đấy quả đấy hay nha.
And Vikla, yeah, takes a sip of his drink
Combo kết hợp với
and
tốc biến nha.
is a little bit upset about how this mid lane is going, but just needs to look bottom lane.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel way better.
The lead is bigger in the mid lane for now, but I have a feeling that will change.
Hey, but you spread out both of
Thế
them.
này
to
cái
the
trường
bottom
hợp này
lane.
nó không có cái
Yeah.
lý do gì để mà phải chết hết cả.
So
Bởi vì sao?
I
Bởi vì
don't
con
fully
Mid Potter này
understand
làm éo
what
cũng
the thought
đam.
process was
Lần
here.
về nhà
Because
mua
I
ra cái
think
lưỡi
it was
hái để
stuck in a
farm
1v1 with a
thì
melee minion.
kể cả đánh
I
nhau.
don't think
Tôi nói về
that
vấn đề nhá,
even
rừng
if
không
Raptor
xuống
doesn't come
thì
down,
bên phía của Lazy
that was a
Field
good idea.
cùng với cả người anh
And
em
it was
support đánh cũng
especially
chẳng
not a good
gì.
idea because he did. Tibbers here for the follow-up, very clean here. Still no flash on the rise.
Yep.
So Willer is making an impact in this game. He just does not want to assist bottom, as he knows
Mà
that lane
để
is
đánh được cái
probably
pha đấy
doomed.
cũng không phải là đầu tư tài nguyên, nó có
As
đầu
Rich
tư.
now having to
Đúng
deal
không?
with this wave
Cái cú
as
mà
it just
choáng
got
được ý là
equalized
phải tốc biến
by
choáng.
Clear, who can go for a bit of a recall if he would like to. See whether he
Nếu thấy một
does.
cái cửa gì
As
để
he
đánh
gets
nhau cái
bunch
quả
of
đấy
pings
mà
down,
tốc biến
clearing
choáng
out
xong
some
rồi
vision with his
chưa
control
hiểu
board.
kiểu gì.
The early
Quả
game
đấy
for the
nó
Rumble
dual kill,
also
thằng
going
rừng nó
well
không xuống để ganh cũng vẫn thua.
swiftly as this
Đây,
this
bây
game
giờ
right
nhìn đồ
now
mid 4
feels
đi.
like
Đồ mid
GIM
4 với đồ
DRX
Caitlyn thế này thì
are-
đánh nhau kiểu đéo gì.
like their most important part, like the most important thing to do with this comp is you're setting everything up to the Misfortune ultimate to be layered on top of all your setup, right? That's kind of how this works. And that can work even if you are behind, if you get enough time. Like, you know, Misfortune ult does a lot of damage. But when you're really far behind, you can never get off the ground. It doesn't even matter if you see Sarah because there just isn't damage, and there's a rise and a
Ăn được xe
hit
to.
on the other side. And trying to play
Ăn được xe
Rel
to, ăn được
here
xe to.
was... I don't fully understand.
I mean, it adds to the wombo, right? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, sure,
you know?
but like
you
this-
put magnet horse, you put like
bullets,
rock circle,
they're
you
magnetic,
put
right?
bullets and bear,
Không có
and
đâu
then
xin được thờ luôn.
that is how the game plan works. It's very Kizja.
The bullet casings are just made of a magnetic material. The bullet itself at the front also magnetic, so it all
There you
just
go. The bear made of bullets, something. But that's what
Jarvan's
they need to
spear
do.
magnetic as well.
Hey, it's okay.
Cả mid hơi
Vikla is once again
nhiều.
in trouble. Does once
Cả
again have
mid
to
là hơi
flash.
nhiều.
Looks
Is it
like that
just-
is going to permanently be on cooldown.
I mean, I know I'm a personal fiend for narrative,
Rồi,
right? We
xuống
like
lại
to
tỏa ít
set
áp lực được
things
không ạ?
up and talk about patterns
Đảo
that
đảo
we've
tí
noticed and
đi.
stuff, but
Nhiều khi
us
mình cứ
basically
xuất
being
hiện
like Lazy
thôi
Field's
để
laning
cho
has
tăng.
not been great.
Đấy,
And
đấy.
also Vikla's been having a rough time,
Nhiều
like
khi xuất
in
hiện
it
một
being
chút
the
để cho mình
whole
farm
early
được
game
không?
here. It's just a little bit too much.
Mua xong
for
cái
me.
lưỡi hái đấy được farm,
As
tức
Kellen
phải
may
đi.
stop this back.
Oh, goodness me. Okay, Lazy Field can at least strut in order to get himself out of here, but it's not looking like a great time. And Kellen is still going to interrupt another back.
Yeah, it's gonna waste his time more as this
Thôi,
next
thôi,
wave
bị
comes
bình rồi,
through.
bị
And
bình rồi.
Raptor is working on the dragon.
May mà
Otherwise,
Lee
probably would have been
rồng,
looking to kill a Rel right
Vậy là sẽ
now.
không mang trụ
Oh,
trong
we're
hoàn cảnh
going
này.
all out here as Rich, as Clear just doesn't get hit by the turret
lửa
because
tốt.
there were still minions available. Throws down the equalizer.
That's the other thing you said, that Rich has been doing better lately.
Yeah, there you go. Although he's now just going all out and walking a whole bunch. So
Those
not able to
minions
catch
don't
up.
have a chance, Atlas.
That is very true.
Look at that, cleaned him up swiftly.
Well, I mean, it's clear that's clearing up
Yeah,
the wave
no, I
swiftly,
know. He doesn't
okay?
actually have any shoes.
Yeah, no shoes just yet. But he could swiftly clean up waves after this back if he
Oh,
decides to
he
buy
went Merc Treads, Vikla.
Oh,
He didn't get the
no.
memo about the 10 Swifties.
Do we have any other boots? Not yet.
No, not yet.
It could have actually been the drink.
Vikla might just sell them in the mid game.
Yeah, it might,
and
peer
get
pressure
Swifties.
might be too much. As if we had 9 Swifties. Well, Papa and I used to play a game back on the OS server actually, where we just call it Swifty Gunblades, and every champion that we play had to build Swiftness boots and Gunblade. That's the only items that you could buy. Papa found a lot of success with Tryndamere with the build. I think I just played Akali.
That
and we
makes the
ran
most
fast.
sense.
Actually, no, I played Mordekaiser because I was a big Mordekaiser fan at the time.
That's a good call.
That also did work out very, very well.
Anh Hàn chê bot của BFX chưa đủ áp lực à?
Oh, for some reason I thought in my mind I thought you guys were just 1v1ing.
No.
Đâu, có chê đâu. Nào có dám
Just,
chê gì.
hanging out playing some League of Legends.
Okay, well that sounds like a really hearty, like not heartfelt.
Chỉ đang chia sẻ câu chuyện thế thôi mà.
Heartwarming, yeah.
I thought it was heartwarming.
It was a very heartwarming period of your life.
Thằng Lee Sin nó cũng xong độ lớn trước cái này.
And
I
then
miss those times.
Bây giờ Japan về đợt này đã ra xong cái độ lớn luôn chưa? Chắc là xong rồi ha.
Yeah, and then like many years later in 2026, Vikla blocked Merc Treads past this 10 Swifties game.
I'm glad we've brought it back.
Now anyone can build anything, I guess, because it's all ruined.
It is all ruined. Oh,
chưa?
So is Lazyfield's health
Khổ
bar
eo
as the
chịu
ace
được
hole
thò
comes through.
mặt lên mất nguyên nửa
Cuts him down
cây.
to about
Mà
half.
không hiểu điều gì đã
He
xảy
does
ra.
at least have a cull, so he can use that to get to his Swifties faster.
Yeah, that'll help a lot. Misfortune, you know, can run real fast as Willer is here.
Đúng rồi. Nào làm gì đó đi được. Lần này thì ok nhá. Farm mở đấy thì ok này. Đủ ram không? Thế đi. Bắn tốt. Bắn một đường hai của đấy tốt.
The supporting cast is very good in this
Không
movie.
sao. Cứ để dừng ăn hết đi cũng được. Không sao. Hơi tiếc là không nhường được mạng thôi.
That was a very bizarre exchange, but like we said, you know, even from behind, especially when you're
those two are buttoned together, win together,
yes,
Wolf in the Rise group.
It's Kizzurg right there. They did it. They got the Magnet Storm. They did the magnetic thing. The bullets came through. And then for some reason, B&K decided they were just going to send it on trying to turn that one around. Like, it almost felt like when Kellen healed, he was like, hold on, he's got Doran's plate. Maybe there's an maybe he lifesteals here. At this moment, I think Kellen should be walking the other way. And they tried to turn this around. I was like, look at this. He's like, hold on, maybe there's an angle? No,
I mean, honestly,
Kiệt sức còn lắc hay nhỉ? Quả đấy Kiệt sức còn lắc hay thế. Làm một lắc
They could have just opted away. Instead, it's a lot of money. Q and Derek's take a gold lead. And Lazyfield is like, well, cut that gold lead in half. I got a call coming, and it's basically going to be back to 0 after that.
And Misfortune is the strongest when Caitlyn is the weakest. And Willer is now much weaker because he bought the wrong shoes. We're not Swifty gunblading. And obviously, like, Clear's first item was Leandri's, so that's kind of doomed. I don't think, UCal bought a dash cannon, so that's not a gunblade either. They're not playing the game. We didn't tell them about the game either.
Thua thiệt thì bản chất tướng là bây giờ là cũng dễ thở hơn. Mà cũng sắp sửa chuẩn bị farm xong cái lưỡi hai nữa.
Maybe you'll be less frustrated now that you don't know that. So they just never actually know what we're saying. I think it's okay. All right, Vikla now just going to deal with this wave. Doesn't quite have his Rod of Ages completed just yet. As UCal, with his first item, almost 5,500 gold in lead. Raptor looking for a sneaky lady with metal pants, and should be able to find her. Ace in the hole comes down, and bullet time is there for solidarity, but not for winning the game.
Đi về hướng đấy là sai rồi.
Oh yeah, there's the little Warthog flash there, and Willer is just going to jump on top of him. The bear is in the Cataclysm as well as the light binding from Kellen is so good. As down will go the job, and UCal is still fighting though. Dash cannon, and he picks up the kill on the Lee Sin. Tib is still getting involved as Vikla wanders back to the mid lane, but I think UCal may have saved that play, and it's probably a good thing because Willer put in a lot of work to get this Annie ahead.
Man, I missed Rise Group.
Oh,
it's not even technically Rise Group yet, but it's locked in Rise Group.
Yep. It feels like this is our, like,
Rise
week
Group
9,
inductees.
Yeah, you get the first dose of, like, real, true Rise Group, right? Because we have everyone locked in, and you know when it's that Rise Group matchup.
It's like Rise Group preseason.
Yep. And we get to see what some of the best matchups in the Rise Group
are
going to
be. Chạy thẳng đi.
This is
chắc là không có thông tin của con Rise chặn đầu.
He tries to set up the
nếu
R
mà biết con Rise chặn đầu thì bố cháu đã không chạy cái đường đấy. Mà tôi nghĩ là phải có thông tin chứ nhỉ?
This year,
Rise chạy ngang sông vì có mắt ở sông mà.
Final Spark doesn't hit. Then he decides to try to Cataclysm his way
out
of it, but now he's stuck.
Chạy thẳng để ăn cái chói. Thì lúc đấy cùng lắm nó Lee Sin nó đá vào thì chưa chắc đã chết.
Like the only mobility he had left to try to
giải
escape
quyết
there.
thêm
He
phương
didn't
án khác
actually get
đi
it.
đường này con Rise chặn đầu thì nó lại hơi khó.
So this Annie is.
Thôi thì mình cứ nói, mình cứ nghĩ rằng là phương án là không có thông tin đi.
Wow, UCal is taking matters into his own hands as now Will is going to come past.
Chuối
They dodge the light binding.
này, vậy đi.
I think they wanted to get that kill over to Lazyfield. But UCal's like, no guys, I am carrying this one. On a killing spree right now.
The
The mid lane carries now.
Okay, TP for the Cassante here is just going to dissuade B&K from challenging, as Clear was already down here, so Clear just gets to walk away with TP advantage. They will be trading this one-to-one Dragon, as also Vikla got a huge push in the bottom lane.
And gets his Rod of Ages now completed as well. A bit of a shame that it's definitely not a Cloud Soul this game, as they could have been running very, very fast.
It could still be Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh.
It's Earth, Wind, and Hextech.
Hextech's always fun, though.
I think I remember that Arcane episode.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a good one.
Bauhaus doesn't, though.
He definitely doesn't, especially not Season 2. As all right, Raptor over here on the Rift Herald. We'll see whether he's going to be challenged, as there is a teleport from UCal. This Annie is very scary. And Andal, yeah, hex-skating around. They only just popped up. I don't know whether that's necessarily tested tech, but Raptor is just going to get on in there, gets the kickback, does go down, as the flame spirit from Clear is going to be enough to eliminate Andal. There's the bullet from Lazy Field, and gets some revenge on Kellen.
All right,
Dừng đánh trận này cũng ok nha, nhưng mà anh chàng Andal này
risky attempt there to get in position to flank from
Would Raptor do anything else though, Wolf?
I mean, it's just, well, Andal's got his proto belt. Or harness.
Protoplasm harness.
Yeah, it's proto belt. He's gonna close the.
Ra ba đánh cái trận này hay quá. Ra ba Andy trận này đều hay.
Rocket
Dash
harness.
cannon, so that no one gets it confused.
So Andal here, he just goes in, right? And initially, it's like, okay, this might be a mistake, but finally his teammates are able to rejoin. And his equalizer is well placed, but the fight is really happening on the other side here. So they end up getting the kill there in exchange, and then Kellen and crew just get, they press R together. It's the simplicity of it, right through the choke point. Lazy Field is starting to really become very relevant in this game. As Cole is finished, he's got his blood
nói thế khác nào bạn chửi tôi đần. Cày thế ngồi không cũng bị chửi là đần. Đéo hiểu kiểu gì.
Find the right cone angle.
Yeah, and you can also just stand in the mid lane, clear waves, and if you do that, you get all of your health back and everything is absolutely fine. He's obviously very far behind in farm, like 40 CS or something like that. But this is kind of the Lazy Field way.
Yeah, he's
instead of laning,
and then he wins the game.
Exactly. And right now, he is right on track to doing just that, as they have almost a 1,000 gold lead, although it did tick down to 6 from 700. But it feels like KMDRX have all of the tempo vibes.
I just feel like the best way to describe Andal this game is unpredictable. You just don't know what he's going to do next, and I think B&K might be a little caught off guard by this, as we were going to have this Herald crash through.
Chỉ là câu chuyện gác farm thôi.
Yeah, Shelly going to set herself up, and will be able to at least get a good old charge. Grab some crystalline overgrowth there at the same time, as UCal is going to stun Vikla, who is, then going to run away, because the stun is now on cooldown, as Andal. Oh. I was predicting that he was going to go in, and that's why he didn't go in. And
Điên mới đúng à?
You were right.
Lại bị chửi tiếp ạ. Được thể thế nhờ người anh em An Điên. Đánh cẩn thận không tôi lại bị chửi.
Available here now as well. Even has unsealed spellbook, so you watch out, man. It might be this Andal unseal might be like the smite steal on the Elder in 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
But now that you've predicted it, it's not going to happen.
I'm saying it might be. I mean, I'm not crazy.
Yeah, but you've mentioned it.
I did mention that is a possibility that could happen in this game.
Oh, that's definitely not what's going to happen in this game now.
Okay, so
I'm not even going to say things that could potentially happen, so we can keep them
like Rich getting a pentakill.
Oh, that could happen.
Sorry, I ruined it, Rich. But
Rich is more predictable than Andal is. So
yeah, no, it's just Andal thing.
Yeah. All right. That wasn't the start of his pentakill, as Clear is also in the bottom side. And so not going to be part of Rich's pentakill at all. But will be still going down, and expended his flash in the meantime.
It's not really a cross map here for Raptor either, so it's just going to be a free win, so to speak, here for QMDRX. Like, they just
also
win this
crystalline overgrowth over UCal, who was already incredibly far ahead, now moves to like 1.8k. My goodness, this Annie is very big.
The main thing here is the control ward. I think Clear just didn't expect this. Also, I mean, basically he gets 100 to 0'd by UCal anyways, but there was a control ward. He didn't have vision of Willer. Thought that he could be up there, but he couldn't. And so this turret is going to go down in the bottom lane. There's no answer right now. It just goes over completely to this extremely fat Annie. And already has 2 items, and the mid turret is also quite damaged.
And this extremely fed Annie is going back.
Về giai đoạn lên game sẽ có khoảng 2 giao tranh tổng. Một giao tranh ăn được triple kill và giao tranh cuối cùng end game thì ăn được double kill là 5 mạng.
Vừa khi Still kind of mind-blowing that it's Rich on this tank that was just trying to stay alive in lane, and he is winning his lane, does have his Rukun completed as well, and is just farming like a beast.
Yeah, he's just killing the minions, man. Like I said, what the all out earlier. Like,
yeah.
You see how quickly he did that?
He did. He went all out. He was all out.
As we do have a dragon spawn, you
know,
obviously so every dragon from here on out is going to be valuable, as they want to punish Rich.
Yeah, not in Raptor's mind. He is not about the dragon at this stage.
Ván này toàn phải đứng xa farm ấy.
And Willer has started this one
already.
This is really quite good for QMDRX because they have a Cassante that's impossible to dive.
Lại nữa à?
There's the kickback onto Ando, gets put into the light binding and will just be destroyed before the snap trap even came down.
You might have predicted that he would have tried to flash outplay Raptor there, but I think he knows that he's likely dead either way and wants to keep his flash for a follow-up engage later on in the game. So good choice by him.
I also assume that Ando said, I found the enemy jungler, feel free to take the Drake. And they get themselves their second dragon.
That's exactly what did happen. And so, QMDRX, I think, very happy with the exchange there, at least in terms of the end result. Ando would have liked to live, but
chết cho con nào thì không chết, chứ đừng rừng rụng các thứ thì ok, chết cho Kenley thì hơi vắng đầu.
Maybe this was his plan all along. He's hit the 0-4 power spike now.
Yeah. UCal, we can't even see him. The 404.
Exactly. In fact, there's a lot of 4s in that scoreline.
Yeah, it's like
everyone's scoreline. It's kind of crazy.
Rich, if he gets a pentakill, he'll have 6 kills. That would be a 4.
Dang. All right. Well, QMDRX keeping things all in order.
Well, the next objective here is going to be Hextech Soul Point.
Nhiều hơn 150 vàng đấy, chứ làm gì đến mức mà thấp 150 vàng.
A little bit, right? Like, this is a lead here for QMDRX.
Nếu tôi nhìn không nhầm ở đấy phải hơn 200 vàng chứ.
Basically. So this isn't enough yet for us to say, okay, QMDRX are in a commanding position in this game, but they do have the advantages, and their composition has a lot of CC, a lot of burst, very simple to play, as we've mentioned several times here. So I do favor them to close this game out. If I had to play the Challengers and or Rise group game where we predict what's going to happen, I wouldn't talk about Ondil, of course, but the team looking ready to pounce right at a moment's notice with this Fed Annie, who is going for some pen as well on third item. With the lead that he has, he's like, I drop Bear, they die.
Vikla, yeah, Bear is going to come down, and Vikla did not die. He flashed. There's the Cataclysm onto a couple as the kick flash comes through. UCal is going to get taken out. It's Taeyeon that gets the money, and now Raptor is looking to get rid of Willer. He tries to flag drag away. LazyField not exactly finding the angle, but he'll get the double up onto the rise. Sidesteps the harpoon beautifully as well. As now Raptor looking to get on in here, but defending LazyField as best he can. Can these autos land correctly? And yes, they can, as he destroys the takes out the mechanical Yordle, and now Kellen's gonna have to run away. As Taeyeon gets over that wall, but he is not winning this fight. And even without
chắc là được sự trợ giúp đến từ hai người bạn đồng nghiệp của tôi là Đức Mạnh cùng với cả Hoàng Luân liên tục quảng cáo để cho các anh em ở bên kênh đấy sang hỗ trợ. Nếu mà anh em nào mà là fan của Hoàng Luân đến Đức Mạnh thì về nhắn với cả Đức Mạnh Hoàng Luân là Mạnh An cảm ơn. Mạnh An vẫn luôn luôn viết những cái màn trợ giúp âm thầm đấy của mọi người.
BNK are in a strong position here, but Willer is able to buy a lot of space. And then even though this LazyField ult is low value, he gets the low health target there, and is just able to, with this shield, withstand all the pressure and kite back. As Ondil, you know, unpredictable, but LazyField just needed a little bit more space there. And we'll just heal through and just kind of front-to-back team fight him out at this point. Just, they could not kill him. He was largely ignored, and he did a lot of damage.
Hai mạng nè. Đấy, từ giờ đến hết, giao tranh thêm một phát lớn nữa, ăn thêm cái triple kill endgame là đẹp.
So now we've got a minute and a half on this next dragon. You were mentioning Hextech Soul Point going to be a huge deal here for QMDRX. Can they get control of the area?
It's really hard for this Caitlyn to actually get back control of mid-pile because they don't have a turret.
Sợ nhất là mấy cái ông
sitting on 2.5 items here, very tough,
KRX này, KRX này
somewhat gankable,
không biết cách để endgame thôi. Làm trận đấu nó cứ bị rầm rề lâu lâu thôi là dễ bị vọt xà. Cố gắng ăn cái kèo này.
And control the space on the dragon. UCal has teleport. Vikla does not, obviously, because he's playing Ghost Rise. Does have his Realm Warp, but UCal will have the larger agency to actually join this fight first and then get into you know, a bear brush where he's ready to drop bears and take names.
Drop bears, I understand that.
Yeah, that's finally I've actually got you on the broadcast when I mentioned that.
Yeah, it's a my
Nó
people
đủ rồi, đủ
reference,
vô
I
cực chưa?
like it.
Đấy, đủ vô cực rồi.
As well on this back, UCal that is, because
you've really got to watch out for drop bears with void stuffs.
Yeah, they are the scary ones. I'm a little bit less worried about the Crypt Bloom.
Ở đấy, vô cực chứ còn gì nữa.
It's the scariest
Mục tiêu lớn.
As you count.
Now,
IE too picked up for Lazyfield. The timing of these 3-item spikes here for these really large QM members that are the main damage sources are really going to be. It's going to be quite pivotal as being
stack nhau lại.
Instead.
Phía cameraman ơi, tập trung vào. Rồi, đi ra phía sau. Đúng rồi, cửa sàn T222. Bọc được. Nào, đi đâu về đâu, phải ở lại chứ. Bọn nó tỉnh quá, Ok, bây giờ coi như là mình tẩy được cái chiêu cuối của Rai này. Tẩy được cái chiêu cuối của Rai, sau đó thì ra thẳng hang rồng áp lực tầng 3. Lựa chọn mục tiêu lớn rất phù hợp.
Everywhere, look at them, they're lining up. It's like single file. Rise group is so polite, man. This is the best. No, we're going to fight around the dragon pit, everyone. That's where we organized it.
Và hơn lúc nào hết lúc này là bên phía của Lazyfield cần phải giúp đối phương ra đánh nhau tranh tổng. Nó không bao giờ dám đánh ra tranh tổng tại thời điểm bây giờ. Con rồng phải buông. Làm sao mà dám đánh ở một cái nơi mà đại địa chấn con, gấu, tipper các thứ thả choáng con, bão đạn con, 1 tỷ thứ con. Áp lực xuống 4 thôi. Siết đi, đánh siết tay lên.
B&K were on the top side of the map trying to make a play on UCal. Instead of QMDRX just being like, you know what, like, we've chased them away, let's just go get Dragon. They, like, chase them super hard. Then B&K realm warp so far away that they're
they
like,
could have leapfrogged them. Imagine if, like, Vikla had have just, like, realm warped into the river, and then they sprinted to the Drake and took it in 3 seconds.
That would have been crazy. But, like,
I mean, so cool.
QMDRX just like, I guess we'll walk all the way back to the Dragon and they get it. And now they have Hextech Soul Point as we do see a TP here from Rich.
Đây rồi. Đây rồi.
Lazyfield grabs that kill. And KMTRX, I mean,
lại có Mạnh đấy mà, 3 xác. Ui, thế này thì vọt xà rồi, Em Phiêu đang bay. Em Phiêu đang bay. Em Phiêu biết là hơi mâu thuẫn nhưng mà em Phiêu có thể. Đây, Baron xong. Ăn Baron xong là endgame luôn này. Quét sạch ăn Baron xong endgame luôn. 5 xác. Mà đấy, như nào? Tìm. Phá thông nổ, hợp lý. Quay nó lại, đúng rồi. Ủa gì thế? Đẩy. Đừng giao tranh. Hãy chỉ giao tranh những lúc cần giao tranh thôi.
Given the fact that they weren't going to try and fight a 4v5.
Yeah, so now it's a 3,000 gold lead, and that should start to expand a little bit here as they get back onto the map with these buffs. And okay,
this play
here, just they didn't see it coming. Rich is ready to fall, but so is everybody else.
Đấy mới là một cái giáp vàng mà tôi muốn xem.
In all honesty, Taeun, it was difficult to predict that engagement that far away, but you've got to be ready for anything here. As you are the only member on B&K who's relevant in this game was not anymore necessarily. As here comes a realm warp.
Vừa mới khen nhịp nhàng xong thì liệu có ổn hay không? Bên Team ném được cái câu bóng tối thượng nhưng không ổn rồi. Nặng tội rồi. Bị một lợi Baron thế này thì chết. Vừa mới lỡ mồm khen xong, lỗi an. Quả này chắc là phải chết thằng nữa. Phải chết thằng nữa không? Đừng. Thôi. Quyết tâm chặn đầu rồi. Đánh luôn.
I did not predict that turnaround as UCal doesn't quite have enough buttons and now Rich is going to turn up. Can he get this one through though? That's the question as they take down Clear.
Không được 2 mạng rồi.
Rich is unlocked, destroys the Rise.
Vẫn ăn được mạng à? À, con Tipper nó đấm. Nhưng mà thế ăn sao con Baron này thế này thì...
Rich is able to like dash over towards these minions here, and it's going to take a while to kill him. And there is another Q connecting. Rich gets another dash, but Taeun is now in range. The Q is only going to bring him more in range, and now Rich will die. And so that's all of the Barons now gone.
Con Baron âm lòi ra. Baron này tôi dự là phải âm khoảng tầm 500 đến 1.000 tiền. Không, hơn.
one that did this, Wolf.
Yeah, it was close, but he's just not able to do it.
Âm 2k5 tiền. Yeah.
So he's guaranteed the kills.
Ôi,
Magnet
dẫn
Storm
nhau
here
đi cái
was,
kiểu ngớ ngẩn thế
I
nhờ.
think if he had waited and used it for the
Oh no, you were the one that did this, Wolf.
Yeah, it was close, but he's just not able to do it.
He even made
Andy thì đang tận ở trên này.
sure that
Khó hiểu.
all of his other
space, and the Rich shows up, and ultimately they will kill clear. UCAL survives a little bit longer. Vikla is like, get that bear off me, but drop air is inevitable. And then I was going to say, thankfully, there is a true God that will stop us from watching the rest of this replay.
I thought he was going to go in there.
Hạt cơ Baron xong còn âm tiền thế này thì thôi. Hỏng rồi. Bây giờ mình có thể hốp ở chỗ khác được không ạ? Bây giờ mình sẽ hốp một cái quả mà liên quan đến rồng, linh hồn rồng đi nhờ.
Raptors are likely going to get stolen away here.
Đừng xa ra tí em ơi. Hèn tí đi em. Mình sống hèn một chút.
Oh my goodness, that headshot damage is very high.
But that's why he is.
Mày mẹ mất gần nửa cây máu luôn.
He's trying to do that damage and it hits really hard when he does do it.
It really does.
Chọn mục tiêu tốt. Nhưng không ổn rồi, trả lại một cơn mưa tên lửa là cực kỳ tuyệt vời và đó là cầu vòng tổn thương nhiều sát thương. Phát xử lý của Clear phải nói là ok. Không có một động tác thừa nào cả, từ cái góc độ vẽ mưa tên lửa cho đến cái tình huống bấm đồng hồ cát và khò ở dạng đồng hồ cát. Thôi nên nhường, con rồng này nên nhường, đừng tham quá. Không có tầm nhìn ra làm gì. Mà nhất là để cho Caitlyn nó setup bẫy trước nữa thì hơi khó.
Well, you know, this game is
thực ra cái pha đó con Javan mà tìm mục tiêu thì đúng là thật là chỉ có Rumble để mà tìm. Nhưng mà đánh vào Rumble thì rất là nguy hiểm ở một cái việc là khi mà bạn úp vào con Rumble thì cái dàn còn lại của bên Lazy Field này bắt đầu phải co cúp lại để dùng sát thương. Và đấy cũng là lúc tuyệt vời nhất để nó bắt đầu nhả ra cái cơn mưa tên lửa.
We are in a 31.5 game where we have 5 dragons taken, kills are dead even. You know, and Annie has a 1,700 gold lead, but it's otherwise basically an exactly even game state in most of these lanes. Obviously, the Lee Sin has an edge over the Jarvan. What does that really mean? Okay, let's lock in because this next fight over Baron could be what actually completely opens up the game for B&K if they can get it.
Wait. Actually, no, because the team that got the Baron last time immediately threw.
Yeah.
So I mean, perhaps actually, giving Baron is going to be the strategy.
Yeah, actually, you raise a good point.
Rise Group turns it all on its head, Wolf. Okay, you cannot have all of these legend ideas.
Các bạn hãy cứ coi như tôi là pháp sư Hoàng Luân không bằng đi.
got his locket, right? He's got Ghost Hex Flash.
Trận này thì tiền tiếc bây giờ gần như là cân bằng, không đáng kể lắm. Vị trí xạ thủ là bằng tiền nhau, pháp sư thì đang vẫn có lợi hơn cho chỉ bị xước một cái giao tranh kia thôi. Thế vẫn còn.
He's going to be running really fast, and maybe that will be enough to set up the bullet time of a lifetime for Lazy Field.
Mà câu chuyện ở trong tương lai gần sắp tới thì vẫn là đánh mục tiêu lớn thôi. Mà đánh mục tiêu lớn là phải đánh 5 vs 5, mà 5 vs 5 thì cái đội hình của bên Kivu này nó vẫn là đẳng cấp hơn. Đấy, thế chủ động vẫn nằm ở trong tay Lazy Field với những cái bạn mà. Tôi thích cái cách nghĩ lạc quan hơn.
Vikla has an arm guard, which will be very helpful in winning these longer fights. He also has his actualizers. Even though he's 2,000 gold behind, his damage throughput is going to be big in these team fights. So if they don't kill him right out, or outright, or Taeyun outright or right out, then it's going to be tough for QMDRX. Like, they either win the fight basically at the snap of their fingers. Otherwise, I don't think they win it at all. Lazy Field has a big shield.
That is a very big shield.
Đầu đấy. Hay. Một pha mở không quá nhiều sát thương, outplay bằng đồng hồ cát rồi. Combo vào lại không đúng thời điểm. Không mất tung với con Rumble rồi. Bị chặn đầu Lazy Field. Vikla đang áp sát thôi.
And QMDRX, you tried to go for this, and it went catastrophically wrong. Will is able to flag and drag his way out to relative safety, but it's a very lonely base he's going home to.
And they could not get the instant kills. The flash is good from Taeyun.
Để tí nữa lại xem lại replay xem như thế nào, những cái pha la vào đấy hơi dướn.
And it's a complete wash. The headshots come through, and Taeyun in this comeback win here for B&K, I guess I'd call it a comeback win, considering some of the things that happened in this game.
Yeah, we'll be able to
say that. It's sort of. It was a weird game, But ultimately, he is able to get it done in that final fight. Great flash there, and now just a desperate attempt here to defend the base.
Cố đi.
There's just no carries
Dậy
here,
tí,
no
cho em
damage.
phim ra bắn thêm 2 mạng đi. Thua cũng được nhưng mà cho em phim bắn thêm mấy mạng được cơ. Mẹ này nó cũng có khẩu quyết à? Mấy con vợ này cũng có khẩu quyết đánh nhà cho anh à? Oh my god. Chán thế nhỉ?
This game was such a roller coaster. I cannot imagine what it must be like to be a fan of either of these teams.
Yeah, and it worked out the clean.
GPL has a big shield.
That is a very big shield.
It's gone now.
It's gone.
Cái cự ly này nó vào thì thực ra cũng không phải là tệ đâu. Bởi vì nếu mà tính ra loại bỏ tất cả những cái yếu tố liên quan đến phép bổ trợ các thứ này kia thì chúng ta cứ nhìn vào cái cự ly này thì đó là một cái cự ly mà bắt được vào xạ thủ của đối phương trong bối cảnh là có con Javan đang đi móc. Đấy, trông thì có vẻ là hơi xa xạ thủ nhưng nó cũng vừa đúng một cái tầm bão đạn. Ok, đấy là vấn đề thứ nhất. Và ngoài ra thì để có Javan nó hứng nữa, hứng thẳng vào đây nữa thì cái cú mở này thì kể ra mà nói thì cũng không hẳn là quá dướn, nhưng mà mức độ hiệu quả thì chúng ta cùng chấm điểm xem nào. Bắt được vào Catlin, ok. AD có thanh tẩy, ngay lập tức tốc biến đi và mọi thứ bỗng dưng trở nên lỡ chớn. Lúc này đây thì tôi nghĩ rằng là cái vấn đề côn team của giữa AD với support là chưa thực sự được smooth, hoặc là bản thân của Lazy Field cũng hơi bị cuốn theo cái tình huống. Tức là tự dưng thấy bạn mình lao vào được con xạ thủ phát là bắn bão đạn luôn. Nhưng về mặt thực tế thì cái bão đạn này là một cái bão đạn không có quá nhiều value lắm. Nó chỉ trúng đúng một mình con Rumble. Nhưng mà Rumble lại bấm đồng hồ nên là nó gần như nó chẳng bị bất kỳ một cái sát thương đến từ bão đạn. Và Vicla này, Vicla thì lại tìm được sườn của Midfortune và lúc này đây thì không có bất kỳ một ai đứng ở đằng sau để gọi là bảo kê cho con Midfortune này được. Nên là con Ryan này cứ đâm thẳng mặt thôi. Bây giờ thì lấy cái gì bảo kê Midfortune nữa. Ui, quả này đánh đến cái khúc này thì là bị vớ rồi này. Đấy, thêm một vấn đề nữa này. Đánh tốt từ đầu đến giờ nhưng mà Wheeler lại đang hơi bị sai về mặt timing này. Đúng không? Cái khúc này đây là về mặt lý thuyết mà nói là sẽ phải làm sao là phải combo kỳ kích vào vị trí của con Rumble đúng lúc đúng thời điểm để giữ nó ở trong cái bão đạn lâu hơn thêm một tí nữa, nhưng mà lại combo trượt. Đây, quả này. Đấy, quả này timing bị trượt này. Cái đồng hồ cát nó tồn tại hơi lâu. Nếu mà hất tung được con Rumble ở chính cái vị trí này thì biết đâu là Lazy Field Rick rủng ào lên thì có thể là vớ vẩn là có mạng nữa này. Đấy, nhưng mà timing bị trượt.
They do take out the carries, and KRX, you tried to go for this, and it went catastrophically wrong. Will was able to flag and drag his way out to relative safety, but it's a very lonely base he's going on to.
Với những xạ thủ khác thì nó có chiêu chạy, nó có thể nhảy ra khỏi cái vùng mưa tên lửa ấy được. Mà Midfortune là bị dính mưa tên lửa là bất động tại di chuyển nhanh phát là ngóng luôn ngay.
In this comeback win here for BNK, I guess I'd call it a comeback win, considering some of the things that happened in this game.
Yeah, we'll be able to say that.
Tôi thì còn mất mẹ cả cái kèo của người anh em gì đấy. Mỹ Hạnh nữa.
He is able to get it done in that final fight. Great flash there, and now just a desperate attempt here to defend the base. And there's just no carries here, no damage.
Yeah, Shattering Strike crashed down all this stuff from Ando, but it doesn't really do anything. They're going to focus the Nexus, and BNK KRX will be able to claim game #1. After KRX had some pretty good plays in the early to mid game,
this
was not enough.
Was such a roller coaster. I cannot imagine what it must be like to be a fan of either of these teams. A CEO of a team that just lost, sitting in the crowd being like, "Oh, it looks a little bit doomed. Oh, we're totally in control. Oh no, it's so doomed."
Kinh nghiệm là như vậy. Còn các bạn nói tôi trẻ lâu thì tôi cảm ơn.
Caitlyn again.
Caitlyn, you know what is he gonna do?
Well, we hate archery.
Nhìn anh giống Marine cái lúc livestream quá.
The corruption
có mấy em camel xung quanh. Mất ghế luôn, mất cả ghế luôn mà. Kệ nhường chúng nó.
Well, that sounds like a thing that KRX would want to do.
They do that a lot. It's actually their #1 thing. Of all teams in the LCK, KRX have prioritized first pick AD carry more than any.
Cảm ơn DB nhá, cảm ơn DB 0102.
Could be very likely.
Lucian, wabam.
Cái gì mà dự đoán sai bet? Tôi đã
wabam.
Lucian, wabam.
Wabam, Lucian.
Cấm tin chưa?
Wabam, Lucian.
Bye.
Oh, Jace! Lucian looks weird.
Like, that one shoots range sometimes. It's close enough.
Con Jin nào bị cấm?
All right, so the Jace is going to be the ban.
Is it an Ezreal ban, or do we see something else here?
The Karma ban?
Karma.
Ông kia xem trước à?
I mean, if you get the if you get Karma, then they're less likely to play Ezreal. Then you could get Ezreal Karma, so that could be a problem. I would say, probably don't let them play that. Well, okay, we're trying to trade it. I think Ando plays Karma.
Wait, why would you ban Xin? Weird. Okay, so Karma can be first pick. The Ezreal is obviously going to be first pick.
They just do this. Instead of picking the Karma, this is a...
So Jin Karma is the response, right?
Yes.
Taeyun đánh Sivir. Okay,
and the Ezreal is not going to like it. But maybe Ando can play Bard. He's kind of a secret sleeper.
He is.
Bard player.
He was absorbing the Bard bans earlier on in the season. I actually think playing a Bard lane would be a better idea because it plays pretty well into the Karma that we've seen.
If he plays Nico, I will be very disappointed. But I don't think he will.
Oh, don't even will that into existence. That's crazy. It's okay.
They don't have to get the Jhin right now since the Ezreal is already locked. So they'll take Nefiri here for Raptor, one of his favorites. Especially in the heyday of being KRX. We don't talk about that one game, but besides that one game...
Yeah, no. What game? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was talking about like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. We don't talk about that.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, but if we start talking about it, then we're going to have to escape from the city. And we'll make it through. Alright,
Bard is the lucky.
Okay, and they got the blind on, which has, by the way, been so good right now this season. Especially,
and it's one of Rich's champions.
Yes. Now it's so much less likely that you will be seeing a tank top. I don't think you can actually go like Vayne here as clear as because then you'll lose your 80 you have to lock Jhin.
Làm gì mà đến nỗi căng thẳng thế?
And Jhin isn't
Từ
a
từ
real
để cho mấy
champion.
em nó biểu diễn xem thế nào.
So I'm looking that I'm feeling like the sixth gamer could be upon us here. As KMDRX set up.
I'm like kind of concerned about the fact that there's not a lot of engage necessarily here. Like the Jhin can be some sort of follow-up engage, right, with his deadly flourish, but Taeyun is a really good player, but he's not Ruler, you know? I'm going to need to see a little bit more before
And it didn't even work for Ruler.
Yeah, it almost, I mean, he played really well, but...
He did.
And then he got caught.
He got caught a couple of times. But it's just the way it goes. Wukong, the most useful jungle ban in the Rise group, is going to come through. Genius, Renekton, another Rise favorite.
I wonder if they'll just ban Vayne on that final spot, as the Vi will also get taken away. Another great, simple Kizurg ban.
It's a lot of Kizurg being taken away here.
Willer is down to a pretty thin jungle pool now. So we'll see if he wants to just like play Trundle or something, as a lot of our teams have done.
That would definitely deter Clear from playing a tank. I don't think, like, already it was looking like a tough game to pick Sion into.
It's pretty not ideal. So... Does he just play Ambessa into Gnar? That sounds so tough. Like, this is not a great situation for Clear. There's not a lot of good picks left.
You can Yorick, kind of?
You can, or you could, like, Camille and call Raptor a lot, put him on speed dial.
Or you just pick Aurora and then...
Keep it ambiguous?
Yeah, just hide from your problems. Oh, last pick, Sylas? That could be an angle.
That actually... could kind of work. Sylas top has been very volatile, but we've seen a few times. It could just be the Aurora top with the Sylas mid.
It hasn't won a lot in the LCK, but it's been picked mainly by Dudu, and he's one lane.
Yeah.
They just, like, DNS do not win games in the LCK. That's just not a thing.
Victor feels very safe here, and this composition has now 3 strong late game damage dealers that are very good. And you know what? Pantheon's actually still up. This kind of works.
Tại sao lại bị chê nhiều như vậy nào?
Bard ultimates really easily. Bard ult is practically a Pantheon ult's worth of distance. And then set up the follow-up, and then the Gnar comes in. Let's see. All eyes on Clear. He could be playing the Aurora. But, he's going to do it! He's doing it!
All right, the Dudu tech coming on through here. Obviously, this was picked, you know, a million years ago into the Gnar all the time, but it's only recently come back as an option thanks to Dudu from the DN Supers. And he will be taking it into the matchup against the Gnar in the top lane.
It's Clear playing Aurora into it, which...
I don't know whether I want to play Sylas into Victor that much.
Yeah, I mean, the way they set this swap, they swapped in a kind of a weird way, which was not the most efficient way to swap these champions, right? If the Sylas is going to go top, but they still can.
Yeah.
They still can. There's still time.
Just doing the HLE thing, where they make sure that we talk about the fact that it could be going there and then they swap it
Nhìn
back.
kỹ từ đầu đến cuối được. Tôi đang căng mắt để xem mấy con bạc này nó sẽ xử lý cái trận đấu như thế
And the
nào.
Aurora has been used as an option into the Nara as well, so it looks like that is what they're going to go with.
I think that as much as this matchup can be volatile, it can go poorly for the Aurora if there's a lot of jungle attention. It means you pull the junglers away from the bottom lane. So I like this choice. Playing the Sylas into the Victor is not necessarily a fun time, but again, a lot of jungle focus is what's really going to be the deciding factor in all these matchups. So my point is Raptor's got a big job here, and he's going to have to be juggling a lot of different lanes here in order for them to get the win. Again, here for KRX, this quite simple. Safe, scale up, win the game.
Oh, Kizog, baby. Once again, they have nailed it with the composition, but they need to figure it out with the gameplay. Let's get on to the riff for game number 2. All right. KRX fans in full voice here today, but there are still quite a few on the other side of Chichik LOL Park as well. As we see LazyFeel on his favorite champion, using the Frozen Ezreal skin as well, which was a favorite of Doublelift and Deft, if I remember correctly, although
yes.
Deft did switch over to Pulsefire for a lot of the later half of his career. That's all right. Cosmic Binding not going to quite find the angle, but there is the Electrocute proc that the Bards really do like.
Yep, they want to get those as much as possible. That's the only way you can play this lane. And obviously the Ezreal is going to have to weave some shots in while clearing these waves very quickly with his Q. And the Q resets. So very much a volatile matchup, but not one that neither team should have a kill pressure in unless...
Yeah, looking for an angle here by the looks of things. The Ignite is down onto Andil, as Kellen decided to take that here in this lane, really wanting to keep things aggressive.
Also is not going to be very effective using it on a like 80%
Nhưng mà phải chê nhiều đúng không? Okay.
And also the Bard doesn't have like snap healing either.
Yeah, it
does have heal obviously, but the sustain that a Bard has is not based on that.
It's not very Ignite value heavy.
Yeah,
so
it's more like you go for a fight and then you lick your wounds afterwards, and that's going to help you by drinking tea and stuff like that.
You're not going to be like running away to your tea with Ignite ticking on you and go, oh no, heal reduction. As Raptor is kind of lurking here, might get the jump on Willer.
Yeah, Willer going to face check as he does hit a dagger, but doesn't hit the second one.
I think that's probably the best that Raptor could have done with that situation because it is an early game Pantheon.
Oh, nice Cosmic Binding there. As Kellen is going to soak the Mystic Shot, it is still looking pretty good.
Này không phải là An điên rồi, chắc chắn đây không phải là An điên. Ôi, what? Linh sập à?
Gank in the mid lane.
Ui, hết hồn.
Yeah, Yukal is
hết cả hồn, cứ tưởng là máy mình bị tụt điện ạ. Sợ thế.
And survives. And our monitors may have turned off, but we turned around and we managed to catch the play. Nicely done, Wolf. Thank you very much for taking the lead on that turnaround.
Ah, it's all good. I had experience with the monitor going out the other day.
Aha.
Here we go. That's the volatility I was talking about, Rich.
Yeah, Rich actually looking for this, but decides not to invest the flash for the play. As we've seen this one before.
Ôi, mình đi đâu thế? Bố ơi, mình đi đâu thế?
Nhưng mà he managed to get the spear down as there's a deadly flourish, but it's soaked by Endo. Taeyeon.
Nhưng mà lần này thì lấy được nhiều tài nguyên đấy.
Look for a reset here. This is actually ahead in farm. The Jhin has been doing a pretty good job of last hitting.
Some of these minions will be lost though.
Yeah, and they have the wave in a pretty good spot as well, unless Kellen can make something happen here. So can be a bit of a rough one as we have LazyFeel with barrier and flash up and available, and Taeyeon out of summoner spells completely.
These two top laners are going to TP right into each other's faces here as they return to lane after a little bit of aggression there from Rich. And Yukal is just trying to hold this wave here. And like I said, we do a little bit of keep it sleepy Rise group sometimes. Slowed down a lot in this game. But I think for B&K, this is where you want things to be. You don't want any early disasters. You don't want to be having to gank. You don't want to be like, oh, we really messed up that earlier play, and now our Sylas is just not going to be able to play the game. Or the Aurora is not going to be able to have the edge that she's looking for. And the Jhin Karma is just, you know, pushing in and doing what it can. Obviously, lead is LazyFeel's right now.
Yep.
But that's all largely been on Andil's really good Electrocute procs and his attempted bindings. I think this Ignite is just based on the fact that Jhin doesn't really do the short burst trade thing where he pops barrier and he's looking for that most of the time. So he took the heal. Kellen took the Ignite. It's a little bit of extra movement speed as well for Taehoon that is his on command rather than needs Kellen's help, because Kellen's already going to be given him movement speed. So it's a cool idea. It just isn't that helpful in the 2v2, unfortunately, where LazyFuel does have barrier, and he is going to be the one pushing and dictating the pace of this lane with the electrocutes from Andil.
Yeah, it just feels weird to take Ignite but not actually have the battle summoner advantage, as LazyFuel arcane shifting towards Taehoon and even baits out a mantra that does go wide. And finds the angle here towards Raptor, who does get electrocuted by the Bard. And does go untargetable, avoids one of the spears, but will have that cooldown back pretty quickly, and does find it there. A couple of autos are going to be required as he flashes in. Gets the stun, the fadeaway is good, and Vicla's not able to punish the Pantheon.
Really good punish here onto Raptor. Willer gets the secure there with the Pantheon as we have Ando coming back.
He flashes as Kellen has to flash away as well. Does get the fadeaway
chưa chơi được nha.
Now Taehoon comes on
Tạm
in.
thời thì ván này vẫn ổn, chưa chơi được. Hay quá. Ơi cái gì đây?
Just for the speed up, but is able to get themselves a little bit far away.
Cho hỏi là vừa rồi vẫn làm như vậy là bị fail phải không ạ?
Okay, well. It's going to be the wave going back towards the
Ezreal vừa rồi là dựng cái khiên như vậy là chắc là bấm nhầm nhỉ, hay là như nào? Lấy tốc độ di chuyển à?
It's crazy how Andil is playing Bard, he suddenly just like is the king of roaming. You know what I mean? Like if he plays other champions, he doesn't actually make the same impact. But obviously here, it's the magical journey that allows him to make this play in the first place. But it's like Andil transforms into a different player when he's on this pick. It's crazy to watch. He sets one up. Willer comes over, secures it, surprises Raptor, I think. The timing of that late flash there to take him out.
Really nicely played by QRX here in this early game. And once again, it's a great early game from them. They get that first blood, and they are looking really strong. This time around, though, Clear does have a pretty good advantage towards the top side. I feel like Rich did a really good job in the last one of keeping things pretty even on the Cassante. This time around, though, the counter pick into the Gnar is working. And Clear does have a decent lead as far as farm, although I guess the money is very, very close. Still, everywhere else on the Rift is all about QMDRX.
It is very much a QM-favored game state. The only leading lane is the Aurora on the top side, which was able to escape that really aggressive play from Rich earlier, but has otherwise generated a pretty nice lead up there as some items start to come through. Andil, he's doing it again.
Yep, just going to get an electrocute. Mystic Shot is not going to land, so Taehoon is looking a little healthier than he otherwise could have been.
Super annoying for the Jhin, who just can't quite reach that fourth shot right now in this trading pattern.
Yeah, and Andil, like, just going over and hitting a binding and then auto-attacking and getting an electrocute proc for what feels like two abilities. It's just really frustrating. He's just doing it off cooldown.
Yeah, it's like Bard harassment.
Đúng rồi, mới game 2 tất cả rồi, mới game 2 thôi.
And they're trying to bait something here. LazyFuel playing very safely instead, though. So it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of agency. Don't forget, Willer also has his ult available for a longer fight. And Andil is just like, well, I turned this into a safe position. Now I'm on the
yeah, he is moving
and I'm on a
towards the mid lane. There is a Raptor in the area. Andil still comfortably able to get rid of this control ward. Vicla steals away an Arcane Storm. Haven't really seen too much from this Sylas thus far outside of trying to defend his jungler as he limped into his lane. The Grand Starfall is up and available here for Willer as well. It has been for a level or two. And Andil is going to just... Oh, man, he gets an accidental interruption. I swear I didn't see him. Never mind, he had the sweeper.
Yeah, he really wants to, it feels like, bait them into a bad fight where Willer's just going to be able to collapse with his ultimate. And BNK aren't going to take the bait, but the truth is, because of the control they had over Dragon, sure, you didn't get the fight, you don't opt into a bad situation, but you don't opt into defending the Dragon either. And so Dragon goes down, and everything is coming up QM favored right now.
Yeah, almost 1,000 gold just by better laning. Of course, Willer having that first blood by killing his opposite number, but the lanes haven't really been affected by the junglers so much today. They've just been affecting each other. So this is all down to QMDRX playing pretty well.
They might actually be able to deny these. They're going to go on to Raptor.
Yeah, he flashes, he uses everything. True shot barrage even is going to clear up the rest of the doggos. And Rich celebrates with a bit of a Goomba stomp, and Willer says thank you very much for the leash.
Raptor was like, can I play the game now? And QMDRX all unanimously were like, no, absolutely not.
Yep. As Vicla looks for a bit of an angle but doesn't quite get there. There There is the death ray coming down as well, and this was the decision into the Victor. We've seen the Silas into Victor angle picked up in the past quite a few times. I believe we saw it in one of our series.
T1 series, I think.
Yeah, the T1 series. That did happen.
Yeah, and like, the Silas obviously can get on top of the Victor that's very immobile and trade with him well, and he utilizes the ultimate very well that he steals from the Victor. There's a lot of cool things you could do with it, but in a game state like this where everyone's kind of naturally ahead, it's a little bit tougher. Vikula's going to try to make a lead.
Yeah, interruption, but still makes it through the magical journey. It's just not going to be enough as Andil flashes away from his own ultimate, and Vikula is able to flash over and kill the Bard and avoid getting hit by the real Tempered Fate. Nicely done.
Caster passing, he is able to finally get something done in this game. I'll have to drop the wave to do it, wave, but finally punishes this roaming Bard. And, you know, we were talking about it, the play here with Raptor on these grubs is there's a Pantheon that has ult, right? Ando's coming over. Rich has Prio as well with Meganar. And it's ultimately Ando who gets the kill anyways. But yeah, I think doing this grub set was a little bit risky. Yeah. And like they have so much vision here. Ando is just trying to do too much. And he's been very successful until this moment at setting that up. And he tries to stop Vikula, who's melee, from getting in there with his own Tempered Fate. But the flash is good. Now he's got Rocket Belt. And so maybe this Silas Aurora
nhờ, lúc nãy R của Lazy Field là trúng mà nhờ. Tại sao lại không ăn được cái acid nhờ? Bây giờ mới để ý là không acid luôn này.
At this stage, and I think the mid game is going to be pretty scary here for BNK QRX, especially with Vikula.
Chắc là cái lúc ấy bắn qua là cái lúc mà con Ma Fury nó đang kiểu tàng hình ý, đang rút xuống ấy.
He's going to get stunned up by the gravity field. And does need to be very, very careful.
Đây, acid này. Đây thì là acid này. Chết trước khi kịp trúng ok. Có vẻ đấy là một cái lời nhận định sáng hơn đấy.
And takes the house as well. Rich turns into Mininar at exactly the right time, slows him down with the boomerang, and I don't know whether Raptor is going to be surviving this one. Good flash from Rich, and secures the solo bowler.
And actually, they could get more because Willer's coming up here. Okay, I was going to say, Clear, you cannot keep pushing right now.
Wendell is going to break the chain. And at least Raptor gets his Cycle Sword, so does have his first item, but Willer's already out onto the map.
Can you imagine? I mean, just knowing there's no enemy jungler because you just killed him, you TP back to catch the wave, and then your Pantheon ults and you get 2 kills. That would have been absolutely insane.
Yep.
I thought that was about to happen. Clear is respectful.
Batman có làm gì nên tội.
Now, this was the one sort of point of power for BNK FearX is clear up towards his top side, but now with Rich grabbing that solo, he's feeling very good about it. And let's have a look at this one more time.
So yeah, spots on vision. Pulls him back. And it's very early to jump here, but not really much that he can do. He's hoping that getting over this wall is enough, but and he says seconds before he flashes, he's like, I got him. And then he's gonna say, he says, I'm gonna TP back. He does. And I thought maybe there would be like a discussion there about whether or not Willer could ult the Aurora, but not thinking too far ahead on that one, and Clear does leave as that's happening. Didn't have full vision either.
And now Clear does have his dash cannon as well, so proto belts aplenty here. 3 of them already purchased as Yukal, able to use his to avoid Kellen. And in comes the Pantheon.
Sập hơi
helps clear out the wave, and now they're going to find some control around this Drake. QRX looking at Double Dragon if they do take this next Infernal. And is going to stun up Vikula here as well. Does smite him at the same time. The Aegis comes down, but it's not getting a lot of value as Raptor gets in behind him. Still, Willer is able to get himself out of the way, and the chains do not connect. And Yukal this entire time is just doing so much DPS. True Shot Barrage has just been on point here by Lazy Field.
He's đấy choáng được thì tốt, nhưng mà thôi không sao.
Những
cái pha xử lý trước đó nữa thì
nó shift over the wall, and these Mystic Shots are landing. Doesn't find that last one. And Taeyeon's just going to have to back.
And is going to have to back here. This should be the Dragon going over to QMDRX. Double Dragon would be massive.
They're on vision.
Raptor coming back here. This is a risky contest if they do commit, but Vikula has that lifesteal.
Yeah, he goes in, gets stunned up. Vikula is very dead. Raptor gets the fadeaway steal, though, and the curtains have now been called. Willer making it past the rest of his teammates. Just barely avoids that last one, but they go between the worlds, and Clear is looking to take him down. Destroy him. No, the Karma will. And out they will go. QMDRX not even able to get the Drake, and BNK FearX looking way better.
All right, now it's a big turn here for BNK. Puts the Jin in a gold lead here. But ultimately, is it enough to turn the fate of this game? That is the question, as we're going to see a defensive teleport here from UCal to keep this turret up. As initially for me on the Dragon, I thought going in there was incredibly greedy. Like, look at the setup that they have here. They have UCal pretty well spaced. But this is a Sylas comp that can brawl pretty well. LazyFeel very low on mana as well in this fight. So yes, Vikla is just blown up, but they get the steal. And then Taeyun is like, it doesn't matter how low health I am, because we have this composition that chases incredibly well. Clear is here, and Rich doesn't have TP, so he cannot join.
Tình huống này thua người cũng được, nhưng mà ăn được con rồng sẽ mắc binh hơn.
Kellen ultimately is the one who picks up the kill, so that's also not the greatest news for BNK, but at least they do secure that additional blow. The main thing is denying the Dragon.
And so now, Mountain Soul available for both of them if they are able to get the next 3. And that could be a lot of power here. Add some tankiness to some team compositions that don't necessarily have a lot of it. There's Kellen walking on over, trying to annoy Andal, trying to get some vision down, and will be able to do so. UCal and Clear, both of them doing a fair bit of damage here in this game thus far. GIM and KRX still with a little bit of a gold lead, but that is slowly falling away. And if we were to talk about like tempo vibes, I would say that BNK KRX have finally found some here in this mid game.
I'm not getting any tempo vibes right now myself. It's really just hard to know who's really
honestly
vibing.
The Fries group ones are different. You know, it's a very different type of tempo vibe. It's like nothing to do with the game state at all, not even a little bit.
An incorrect tempo vibe assessment is also just forgivable in the Rise group.
Oh yeah. And it's not really like a thing that will dictate how the game goes. It's just a feeling you get. It's entirely subjective in the Rise group.
Yeah, entirely. Completely. So we are going to have a Herald contest here from QMDRX. So Andal has his ult, which is the most important part of their ability to fight this. UCal also is not able to get access. Like I think it's going to have to be a crazy Bard ult if they're going to win this one. And
speaking of which, it's right on top of Taeyun. Let's see whether they can find an angle as LazyFeel taking so much damage here. True Shot Barrage onto just Taeyun. But that is a pretty good target, and now Willer is going to make his way in. It's a great position for the ulti to separate Vikla, who's now having to flash away, but UCal flashes after him and gets the finish. Now Clear is dashing in.
Cảm ơn đi.
Deadly flourish to connect, but Rich
Vấn đề thằng em
is
tự
still
chơi
looking
ạ,
for
khổ
Clear
đéo
and will
chịu
find
được.
him as the ulti comes in from Raptor, but
Hay
Rich
nha, hay nha. Hay.
Dealing with the Arcane Storm now, can't do anything about this
double Rick
gigantic
này kinh
Gnar,
thế
and I
nhờ.
think Rich may have just
Zig Batman này kinh bãi đi.
They're trying to get this turret.
Hai
The
Batman
Minion wave
nhá.
is thinned, but they should be able to, with just a few more autos here, take this one out, which will also be at 17 minutes, first turret.
Yeah, first turret, and
không ai quên trộm vía.
Herald gets picked up, and it's going to be used to recall.
Không hay tí nào ạ, và bình thường rồi.
I want to watch in this fight what happens with Vikla, because he's got his Gnar bar, or his stolen Gnar. He just goes on to Willer for some reason. Like, I was like, how are they actually able to close the gap? Because I thought he was just going to try to zone UCal out. Instead, UCal just gets the fight for free because Vikla sent it onto a Pantheon that just walks away and then is able to ult in. I think that was probably one of the biggest whiffs for the Sylas. That's the stolen Gnar ultimate. That's one of your big power points, and he just sent it into a Pantheon.
Thường đã chịu được. Lại hỗn loạn tiếp tục. Vikla không còn Vikla nữa rồi. Thiên mệnh Khải Biến không trúng ai cả, nhưng mà khen không tốt. Rồi giữ được clear choáng tuyệt đẹp. Rick ơi. Oh my god.
And now Raptor is just gonna have to turn tail and run.
Nào Mạnh hay thế. Trên. Trộm vía. Bình thường thôi. Chưa có gì.
He feels safe with the Gromp. I'm running to my Gromp where I will get some farm in this game.
That's the same as me. I'm more of a PvE gamer myself. I would agree. Is all right, LazyFeel trying to get out of the way.
Chưa có gì. Bình thường.
This game has gone off the rails pretty quickly, but this is why you don't trust your tempo vibes.
I was going to say, the tempo vibes call was absolutely incorrect in every way, shape, and form.
I mean, this time he gets the Sylas ult stolen, but it's lethal tempo Gnar, and he's just so far behind. It just doesn't work out. Then he goes back in here. Yeah, to be honest, I'll say it, like, I considered Vikla to be a very good Sylas player.
Yeah.
But I think he's just having a bit of an off game here as the game is getting more and more desperate. He's trying to be a playmaker, but it's just not working out. And QMDRX are looking for their second Dragon here of the game with a 4,000 gold lead now, really, that they have. And LazyFeel has gone for the Glutinous Greaves variant here. He is starting to become a little bit larger himself. Obviously not, he's behind the Jhin, but when the rest of the comp is falling apart, a Jhin with a lead means very little because he just can't do it alone.
Yeah. He has definitely got a lot of gluten. That's all I got. I don't really want to go into the Glutinous Greaves thing again, but it's a very fun one.
Well, right now the Jhin is gluten-free.
Yeah, and the problem is, it seems like gluten is what is giving LazyFeel his power, as he is almost at that 2-item spike. And just needs to clear out a few more minions before I think he goes for the reset.
So we have what? We have treads, with just boots that are swift, right?
Yeah.
Boots of Lucidity. So I guess we doubled up on boots. I was gonna say, like, how do we have double Greaves? How did that happen? As Vikla, again, the target.
Tempered Fate is going to
hay quá rồi. Chạy hộ.
Before he did inevitably go down.
Không hay, quên mất.
Oh wait, no, that was his cannon. Never mind.
I don't really think that there was much he could do with the Tempered Fate specifically to escape from 3 people there. He tried his best, but being that far up into the Pantheon with ult,
Vic là bán game này à?
You know, it's I think a symptom of the game state, right? Like, he's a Sylas that's 1-4 before this death, right? 2,000 gold behind this Victor. The pick is not working out. And the Aurora in the top side also not working. And so you're trying to get on the map, you're trying to get some money, but
yeah,
I think this game is just done.
I feel like that it might be that way as well, even though it is.
Ôi! Ui, cái link clean feed này đang bị ngáo ngơ à?
That's all right. We are just going to settle in. Raptor is on that Gromp once again. He felt safe before. I don't know whether he's safe this time, because he can go untargetable, so he's going to be all right.
Yeah. They're just trying to now oppressively group. Like, they don't have Pantheon ult, but they don't have to dive super deep. They can just wait for opportunities. Bard ult can turn off the turret, right? Can isolate the Jhin.
Yeah.
So it's a very defensive timing here for BNK. Like, they have, I mean, that's not really the best usage of the word timing, but it's a very defensive time they have to get through here in order to get out on the other side, where hopefully the Jhin is scaling and, you know, the Aurora can burst.
Yeah. I mean, Taehyun does have at least a couple of items, and it's not Ghostblade into Rapid Fire Cannon, which can feel pretty lackluster for damage.
You can see the gold
utility is much higher.
The gold graph also had the tempo vibes for BNK at that moment, where you were kind of putting it down.
Yeah, yeah.
It's since sold out.
Yeah, it kind of ran away.
Set up
As Willer is just going to dive on top of Kellen, doing a whole bunch of damage.
Thôi, hay
The
đấy.
brings the rest of the gang over, but there is the
Tốt.
Tempered Fate will answer it. No more curtain call for Taehyun.
Việc làm thì có đám.
Over a couple of them, and LazyFeel doing a lot of damage. Rich turns up and says, "Anyone need killing?" And they will back away.
They do back away, which I think is the appropriate choice here. But now they've got this pretty big siege onto the mid turret. And again, they're just kind of waiting for the next objective, right? The Baron is a little bit too early here at this point. It's just now the 2 items here for LazyFeel. Doesn't have that 3rd one just yet. He's going to go back and buy. We'll get a component here, and we're doing a little bit more damage. But even the Victor that is obviously quite large in this game.
Phải là kêu sao David ta lớn thế à?
Well, Vikla is going to look to try and kill him here, as Raptor is going to come on over as well. He goes golden though. And now the Pantheon comes in. Nice stun.
Làm gì có đam, thẳng mẹ thế cho nhanh. Làm gì có đam. Fit đến 5-6 mạng làm gì có đam.
If he doesn't die, then I guess they just can do the Baron.
Oh no.
Okay, well, sometimes it's just that simple.
And sometimes you do have to, like, the Hail Marys do sometimes need to be thrown.
Yeah, no, I mean, you've got to try to find something in this game. Like, this looks initially like, okay, we got this. The problem is that
cái sự thiếu hụt đam nó được thể hiện rất là rõ trong tình huống ganh này. 2 người dồn không chết được con Victor. Đấy rất là thiếu đam.
Join here from super far away, but the real problem was the Pantheon showing up.
Tất nhiên là phải kể đến cái pha đồng hồ đấy là nó cũng
out play. This is 500 gold lead for Taehyun has felt like never gone away this whole game, but it just doesn't matter. If, like, the Jhin was 2,700 gold ahead instead of the Victor, but the rest of the team was still behind, like, it also, I think, would look the same.
Yeah, I think it would look the same. It's still Jhin. Like, it just, I don't know.
It's not that, I know I'm not as much of a Jhin hater as you are, but Jhin can't function on its own. It is like...
I feel like Jhin has phenomenal utility. I just think that you really do need other carries to to push it forward, and he augments them quite effectively.
Even if you have a really sharp and like very powerful bullet, if there's no like barrel to the gun, it doesn't
it is
matter.
still just if you're throwing the bullet at them, it still won't really hurt. It'll just be annoying, unless it's a really big bullet. In which case, if you threw it at them, it would probably still hurt. But okay, Vickler is going to grab a Tempered Fate, does use it onto Rich here, but the Tempered Fate, the real one, is going to get his flash. Now,
đáng tưởng là hút được thêm mạng nữa thôi làm sao, sông kia. What the fuck, sông của Nafiri là sao vậy?
Go! Killing this Pantheon is definitely high value, as Lazyfield getting a whole lot of DPS down, and Raptor needs to get the heck out of there.
Rich
Mid laner for jungler is going to be the trade, but BNK FearX do deny the Drake.
Yeah. Rich is still pushing though. He's getting so much value with the side lane Gnar. And that's the 7th death for Vickler in this game. He is just trying so desperately to do anything and is really struggling, as this Victor is very tanky, right? Like has the belt. Yes, thank you. Struggling with the belt today.
It can be dash cannon as well. It's got to.
Yeah. You're right. And like Vickler has to TP out of the side, and he just shows up and he's like, I did my part. Technically, like he did, but they can't kill UCal here. And stealing the dragon and going 1-for-1 just isn't really the path back into the game. It's not a loss, but like you are losing more.
Lo
they did lose the Baron. As a
cả có
result
mua
of
lại
that play.
Baron thật đấy, nhưng mà vẫn
Team KRX, I guess, just went over and took it
Căng
and
căng
said,
ha.
it's okay if you're dead. We'll let somebody else smite, and no one smote it, and they just took it. Interesting. They did know that that Raptor had to go back, though, as now Tempered Fate is going to come on down clear. Does go between the worlds, though, gets a lot of damage down. And now the Gnar from Vickler is being set up. He does find Lazyfield with it.
Vickler này,
just sends him to the
nếu như bình thường nhá, là một con Sylas không bị thọt, quá đủ đam rồi. Mày quá thọt.
Than he has any right to be.
It is crazy. This is a negative Baron power play. Yeah. After it all is all said and done, as Raptor is I don't know. He's not going to die. He's utilizing the kit well, but I think going in there was questionable at best, as they are trying to fight under their inhibitor turret, and Victor is coming back. So
they're just going to run over towards the dragon that isn't there.
This game feels like, obviously it's a huge lead. There's a lot of errors from BNK here and there. They're trying to find their ways back into the game, trying to burst down these targets, right? But like, it just feels like they're so far behind that even though their plays are correct, they're proactive, like there's some good decisiveness here, it just isn't going to work. On the other hand, it's 27 minutes into this game. QMDRX had a Baron, which was basically neutral on gold after they got those kills in that top skirmish. They lost another dragon, and suddenly it's like, wait, they can close this game out, right? I think so, with the 3,000 gold lead on this Victor. I do think they should be the victors of this game. I think we should be going to a third and final.
We can guarantee that UCal will be a victor and Vickler will be a Vickler. I think that's the guarantees that we have here in this game when it comes to victory.
It's just, it seems like the way that this game is going right now means that there's like a lot of extra farming time where the gold difference is still large, but 5,000 gold means less and less every objective that goes by. And maybe if BNK FearX can hold on to these inhibitors and QMDRX mess up just one team fight on an upcoming Baron, or if they steal another dragon, maybe there's an in. Not for Raptor here, though.
Yeah, Raptor is going to go untargetable for a few moments. Gets gnawed into the wall as Taeyeon is going to show up. There is a Tempered Fate just to try and buy some space. They do manage to get out of the way of it. Willis shows up, but he's a little bit late to that party. Team DRX are just going to have to try another time.
They will win this game,
both of these objectives. I have no idea. This is the Fries group, right? This is not about winning or losing. This is like, about the experience, the journey.
But it's Rise Group preseason. I'm already kind of like, but I thought we knew.
No.
We haven't had that many games like this.
The whole point of knowing the Fries Group is not knowing. That's how you know.
I know, but like I guess I just don't know that I don't know, and so I just keep thinking that I know.
That's true. The essence of not knowing is not knowing. So you not knowing is truly knowing, or it's not knowing.
The knowledge is
the deeper
absent.
you get, the worse it is.
Okay, well look, That was a little bit of a weird scrappy fight where they didn't get a whole lot, but no objective was up. It's okay, nothing's really wasted. True Sharp Ross will be back in just a second. Willer's not going to have his ult when this dragon spawns necessarily, but he'll be very close to it. He'll be able to get it up. It doesn't necessarily matter anyways because they're going to have prio. Surely they'll just be able to prevent the Baron trade, grab Soul Point, keep pushing some waves, eventually start to threaten some Pantheon ults. They've got great siege with this Victor, and then they'll get a Baron. And they'll open up the base, and they'll win the game. That's, you know, that's what I think.
Whoa.
Based on what we know about League of Legends.
That doesn't sound very Fry's group to me.
I don't know. This team's pretty good.
Well, that is going to be a steal on the red buff to start this one up. Good Deadly Flourish there from Tane, but...
Đúng rồi, cứ dòng mà phệt đi.
So all they gotta do is make sure it's not a trade.
Dòng rắn xong xuôi đã ra.
They're sending only half the team to secure Dragon. They're going to send the other half to Baron, clear vision, so they can go from Dragon to Baron and look for a turn. Very clean stuff here. Oh,
trời ơi, đây rồi, món quà đây rồi. Món quà đây rồi.
Well, now it should be Baron as well.
Thôi,
because
bỏ
they
túi
killed
Baron
the
còn gì
jungler
nữa,
while
bên
they
kia
were
làm gì
taking
còn
the
dừng để
dragon.
chơi.
Set the trap before the
Quả này mà
Dragon
không
was
thắng được nữa
even
thì đừng
taken,
có
and
nói
Raptor
chuyện.
went straight into it. But he just didn't have any vision, he didn't have any control, he didn't have any information, and wasn't just...
They had 2 scrying orbs.
Listen, Atlas.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I shouldn't say silly things like that. And one of those scrying orbs was in the bottom lane.
I just
Quà
feel
quê
like the
thôi,
way
chỉ là
that...
chút quà quê.
I don't know, I feel like I've said this like 7 times this game, but the way that this game is going, he just thought, okay, well, there's a chance something that's unpredictable is happening here, and so I should be nearby.
Oh, bounty gold! Man, True Sharp does a lot of damage. As UCal now has a Magi's, because he's 5-0-5. And he feels like it's a good idea. I don't blame him.
So with this Baron,
yes,
the objective is, okay, instead of saying I think they should or I think this will, say the objective is to push these lanes in full
there you go,
and open up this base.
Let's just say what the outcome needs to be and see what they do in order to try and achieve it. So KRX are going to attempt to destroy the enemy Nexus.
There's no flank wards here on the top side for Vikla to use. They did their due diligence there. There are some on the right side, but they're not pushing that way, so it's okay. They should be safe. 2 inhibitor turrets.
This 4-1 is working out very, very well. As there's a bit of an army of siege minions here. First inhibitor going to go down in the mid lane with not a lot of response from BNK KRX. I don't know whether there's going to become a better time to try and go all in for this because their Nexus turrets are now under siege. And KMDRX are just so scary. There's a Tempered Fate stolen away, but the first Nexus turret is going to go down. There's a Tempered Fate just to stop the turret from getting any work done. And into the backline goes clear. And out he goes after giving them a good old thumbs up. That's going to be the second Nexus turret. And KMDRX will bring us to 6 games on the night. Friends, iDrop's extremely happy about the value they're getting this half of the LCK for 2026. As UCal, big grin on his face. And we may yet get that big celebration.
QMDRX play the better early mid, and the Silas just does not get off the ground.
Trận này đánh bát thế là tốt rồi.
Also focused down early, so neither soul laners
bát
can
đánh
do
tốt
anything.
nha, bát đánh tốt.
The Jin, who QMDRX weren't that worried about, just was only 500 gold ahead. I feel like he's probably still 500 gold ahead.
He might be 500 gold ahead when we get into the next game, but he won't be playing Jin, so we'll have to cancel that one out. Let's have a look at these damage numbers. UCal absolutely slaughtered this game.
When you get this far ahead as Victor, even if a Silas gets on top of you, you just kind of like slowly kite back and kill him.
And then just walk away with a shield, and you're just kind of happy.
And sometimes when an Inferior and a Silas
get on top of you,
Pantheon comes.
It's kind of crazy. Maybe it wasn't him. Never mind. Let us go into the draft.
Nhưng mà tôi không hiểu lắm cái mâm 1 là như thế nào. Cảm ơn Thao Thiết nha. Cảm ơn Thao Thiết với 50 game của bạn. Thank you, bro. Sao mọi người lại nói mâm 1 mâm 2 là như nào?
Line of thinking as we get into the draft. First ban, more archery, I guess, as there it is. The Varus going to be taken away. This time, KMDRX not going to be able to ban all of the archers, but they'll ban one of them at least.
I look at kind of how this series has gone so far. You look at the jungles that are gone. The Pantheon, the Jarvan, Lee Sin also removed, and the Nefiri. Means that I think a lot of this game is going to come down to what these matchups look like kind of naturally, as the jungle power might be a little bit weaker early on with all of these picks gone. So if you have a lane lead, it'll probably mean a lot. You know, picks like Wukong, for example, might be where we go in this draft, where you're less valuable pre-6. I mean, we were joking about the darkness with the feed kind of bumping there for a second, but he also could be picked, but there's no Orianna, there's no Aurora, so pretty unlikely. But he would also be another pick that is a weaker pre-6. What we see is the Akali. All right.
Well, that means Cassiopeia is going to be banned here. I'm just going to write that one down. Because there is no way that you are letting that one through. And so now, what has been left up, Wolf?
I mean, there's a few picks left, like the Azir in terms of mid lane picks that you'd ban Akali for, but we're not talking about mid lane right now. We're going
Lucian, Milio, Yunara, Lulu, baby. That's what we're doing.
That is definitely what we're doing.
Lulu.
Since there is no Ashe.
Bên thì Lucian, Milio, bên thì
Yunara. Do you really want to play some sort of Ziggs lane here? I don't think so.
Draven Pike. Give it to me, Lazy Feel.
No.
Draven into Lucian is that's a matchup that goes back, you know?
Give me the Yunara Lulu.
Oh, well, you know what, Wolf? You're gonna get it.
And then give me the Nami.
Cái vụ gì mà anh Ngan lại các cụ là sao?
And then probably Xin Zhao.
Hóa ra là mọi người đều quen nhau hết à?
I'm surprised Xin Zhao wasn't banned.
Cảm ơn mọi người đã quy tụ về đây.
Still there.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Không phải. Tôi sinh
I was thinking Zeri.
17 tháng 8.
So they
don't need to
17 tháng 8
they can pick away the Lulu.
Lucian?
Haha. Okay. Renekton going to be the lock away. And so Rich on two champions that he very much enjoys back to back, but it does give them like less flexibility.
Nếu mà có Lulu thì tại sao mình không nghĩ về một cái cảnh như vậy thì hơi nhiều sát thương quá nhỉ? Làm cho con Nocturne đi rừng nữa. Lulu Nocturne.
Which is going to be locked.
Yeah, they didn't get the Nami because that doesn't make sense. And
Galio
in the Xin. Renekton here for Rich with the Lulu. There's a lot of power. The Renekton is also empowered by the Lulu. Alongside whatever jungle they get, will probably also be trying to lean in that vein. We don't have jungle Ambessa anymore, but she was one of the biggest
destroyers cuối ngày rồi, mệt lắm em ơi. Tập này trong bụng anh bây giờ thì chẳng có tí cơm tí cháo nào. Cũng bắt đầu thấy bụng hơi ọt một chút rồi, đang kiểu cố xem nó cái trận cầu kinh điển này cái.
Picked Sion, you could pick Trundle, and that would solve your jungle problem. And also, you have the damage to cut through the Sion. So that one is a little bit perplexing.
Yeah, and also Trundle is kind of good into Xin Zhao as well.
Yeah.
Bắt đầu cầm rừng. Bắt đầu cầm những con rừng mà có thể kết hợp cùng với Lulu tốt.
Which is very strong with this composition, will be taken
ban
away.
Thì đã bị tẩy đi rồi.
That one I like more. I like that ban.
Mấy con rừng tiếp cận bây giờ thì còn con nào nữa nhờ? Vì cấm rồi.
Renekton is certainly still susceptible.
Mỗi Nocturne nhìn trông có vẻ là huyền cơ thôi.
Eclectic champion pool would be very happy to play it.
I mean, once the Gnar and the Cassante are gone, you do feel really good if you can take away that last range top. This Jace,
one of them.
A little bit more volatile, but certainly can win the lane into the Renekton. So, do they want to play Vayne with a Lucian?
Cảm ơn Tao Thiết với 100 game nha. Chúc Tao Thiết một buổi tối vui vẻ. Vâng, cảm ơn bạn Wanna Play. Cảm ơn tí rau tí bún của bạn. Thế là buổi tối hôm nay ấm no rồi. Yes. Oh, phê.
Yeah, that's gone now. And
ok, cảm ơn Tao Thiết. Hơi đói một chút thôi, nó không hề ảnh hưởng đến sức khỏe đâu. Yên tâm.
I mean, Trundle is still the thing.
It still could work, even though there's no Sion. Like, I do
đấy,
agree.
cầm Nocturne.
Jax
Nhìn thấy có mùi rõ
we
quá
haven't seen
mà.
really all too often recently.
It has an ability to close
Bắt
distance
đầu
and
là
be next to things.
bắt đầu đa dạng hơn về mặt sát thương rồi đấy. Bài này đang hơi nhiều đam vật lý. Thêm một rách đam hỗn hợp và thêm một con pháp sư thuần đường dưỡng rất là đẹp.
It's like 3-0,
Để xem nào.
I think.
Oh, 3. That's more than I was expecting.
Tôi đang có một linh cảm là Ari à?
But in the
tôi đang
jungle,
linh cảm à? Sẽ có một con kiểu Anivia.
We're going all in on killing Lazy Feel with this composition. If he dies,
khi mà thấy Ari này rồi thì Anivia có vẻ là không nên pick nữa.
That might be an issue here. As Ari locked in, and now what is going into the top?
Con tay ngắn này.
I like this a lot.
Pick mẹ con Anivia mà đánh lên.
All over the place in this game.
We have 2 LEC experts.
Đồng ý không ạ?
There we go.
Maybe lose it.
Yeah, maybe Jankos can just like call Broken Blade and ask us to assess the Shen for us or something like that.
Cơ bản quá.
It's a lot of scaling here for QMDRX, but not a whole lot of frontline. But I mean, between the Jax and the Renekton, the engage you have, all you have to do is punish the Lucian when he goes in, and sometimes you can do that before the Shen gets on top of him to defend him and give the extra shield. They have Emilio for safety as
Dễ đi
well.
mà, cái kèo Renekton với đâu có thua đâu.
I think that both comps are good. Obviously, they're both doing very different things. They are trying to, if you're KM DRX, get to a late game where the Mel and Yunara damage is very, very high, and you have enough damage output to just kind of overwhelm BNK if they can't blow you up instantly, which is difficult to do. And then for BNK FRX, the plan is quite obvious. You're looking to get on top of the Yunara and kill her. Same with the Mel, but the Yunara is the real big problem later on.
Yep.
The deflect, the rebuttal ability, the value of it is basically charm this game, so it's not that high value.
And fire kick.
I guess so, yeah.
Fire kick's kind of cool if you kick that one away, because it just does a lot of things. So that could be a decent option.
I think that it's more about, like, I think when a lot of people think about Mel, that's the most in-your-face thing about her, besides her passive. You're just like, what is he trying to deflect? But in this game, he's just trying to poke with range and do consistent damage before team fights. And then the cleanup is going to be there for LazyFeel. I like LazyFeel's Yunara. Again, he's a player who, out of the laning phase, has such a high skill ceiling. Like, I think he's just so incredibly good in team fights. This comp sets him up well. Just needs to make sure he doesn't get caught by all of this.
Yeah.
And they'll be fine, surely.
Yeah. I mean, it's Risebird. Who knows what's going to happen? And that's the whole point. That's why we love it. Let's get onto the rift for game number 3. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the rift for the 3rd game of this series and the 6th game of the night. Treated to maximum value here on our final Wednesday of the regular season before MSI, as we do have a bit of a face check upon us. LazyFeel taking a fair bit of damage as he does barrier. Taeun have to run away as they do get the heal, but he still has barrier. And so that means that BNK FRX feeling pretty good about that little exchange.
Yeah, we'll get better for Taeun once level 2 is hit. And so they just need to get that as soon as possible and try to find that window here.
Blaze value.
Yeah, that's kind of rare to actually get something out of that, but
works quite nicely as the wave is going to get cleared out here by QMDRX. They should have level 2 first.
Pretty smartly played by Taeun, knowing that as long as he just kind of walks out of the queue from LazyFeel there, he should be able to do just fine.
They're going very aggressive.
Sau đó phản ganh thành công ở trên chính phần trụ của mình và ăn được triple kill cho người em
I do feel like if a fire kick lands, Taeun just goes berserk, right? He pops his barrier.
Nhớ có một trận bình luận với anh Hiệp, trận có Senna cầm Kha'Zix móc vua không có, trận đấy có nhớ. Có nhớ.
After this wave is cleared, when the waves reset and crash to each other, that Kellen
Mất
could
lính
find that
nha,
angle.
nhìn thấy rồi nha.
A little bit of action here in this mid lane as Yukal does look for a snare that he does not quite find. Both of them sitting at pretty high health. But the Mel just happy to scale, as you've mentioned already, as Taeun takes a fair bit of damage here. Does use the barrier, but is still going to lose out on the trade quite considerably. And actually for Yunara lane, this feels fantastic.
I'm not sure what happened right before that, which is arguably the more important part, but barrier value very low as Taeun tries to dash through a fat wall.
Yeah.
Strange. Taking a look at some of these win rates, Yukal played the Mel early, was an early adopter, but hasn't played it that much since. LazyFeel, one of his most played on the Yunara here at 9 games. Well, like I was saying, pretty comfortable for him on this pick.
And able to avoid a fair few of these piercing lights, definitely going to be a big part of what helps you in this lane. Doesn't avoid that one though, so we'll take a lot of damage.
Được rồi chứ.
Thread the needle.
Mấy cái pha chết hit ok đấy, nhưng chỉ là bết mà thôi. Hóa công tốt, quay tay đại pháp tốc biến lâm choạc.
And empower is enough to secure first blood for Willa.
Massive win here. Even though they had to use 2 flashes to do it, it's absolutely worth. And now Taeun is in a bad spot in this one as Kellen's going to try to stop us back. Unsuccessful.
Oh no, the fire kick just hitting the air. Very unfortunate stuff as Rich is going to move on down. Oh, that was a little bit scary, but Raptor not going to have to worry about the Renekton. He doesn't have ranged abilities.
Yeah.
So QMDRX looking in like they're in a pretty good spot for
look
this
at how low
game.
LazyFeel goes, but they set this all up so that Willer could come over here. There is vision, but it's too late by the time he's seen. They're way too far up. There's no flash pollution. And LazyFeel buys a call on his return to the lane.
Rich is winning in farm, but I'm looking at the health bars, and I don't feel like he's winning all that much there in this top lane.
because he's going to press Q and get a lot of health back. As you can see, like that changes in about 2 seconds.
Anh ơi, sao kênh chat LCK chửi thằng Phiêu ghê thế anh nhỉ? Thằng cu nó có gáy gì đâu, ngu thì động viên tôi chứ cứ chửi à. Ôi, tôi thật sự là thấy rằng là chúng ta không nên quá là phải để tâm nhiều đến cái vấn đề kênh chat đâu. Vì nó phức tạp quá, trên đấy phức tạp lắm. Mà cả những cái gì phức tạp trong cuộc sống này thì tôi toàn muốn lược bớt đi cho nó dễ sống thôi. Đi mua bực vào người làm gì. Nếu mà các bạn cảm thấy không happy thì nhiều khi xem mình tắt mẹ chat đi. Ý là tắt kênh chat đi, tập trung xem
we have seen it once or twice before on the Renekton. Might have been in the road to AWC over the last couple of days.
Okay, LazyFeel is just trying to send them a bit of a message here once
xem
again.
Game hay là chơi game thì mục đích cuối cùng là vui thôi mà, việc gì mà phải toxic đúng không? Không thích thì thôi, chỉ lướt qua thôi, hoặc là như thế nào đấy thôi, chứ cũng không nhất thiết là phải chửi bới nhỉ. Mình cũng không thích cái sự chửi bới lắm.
Still catching some piercing lights. LazyFeel needs the extra movement speed from the Whimsy in order to get out of the way of that. So, KRX get control of the wave, and we'll see whether they are going to try and transition this into a dragon. First one being a Hextech Drake means that we are at the mercy of a potential Ocean or Chemtech.
That is true.
Đọc chat đau đầu VL.
Chìm.
Xem game. Vui khi thắng, buồn khi thua. Thế thôi. Sau đó thì chill. Ui.
To get the execution.
I think one more auto would have done it, but it's just not enough.
Willer actually over here, but Andal taking a lot
lại là anh Andal, nhưng lần này thì An tạm thời chưa điên nha. Willer thì phải tự cắm mắt để thoát đi, nghe chừng là chết thuê rồi. Bởi vì Jack đi rừng thì cũng không phải là một cái chân tướng mà có một cái lượng máu cứng lắm.
He turns up with his ulti, and even though Rich had roamed all the way down, he gets no value.
Rich trying so hard to turn that fight, the power of this early Renekton, as Kellen is... that's the most rude way he could have interrupted. He could have just, you know, sent it from the bush there and stopped him, but instead he's going to walk right up to his face. And then...
Mà tại sao lại không có thông tin được con Chen level 6 nhỉ?
Well, now BNK have a...
Rách trước đấy đi ganh cũng mất tốc biến rồi.
That fight wasn't supposed to go as well as it did in this early game. As when you look at this setup initially, like, Andal takes so much damage, he has no mana also. Willer ends up, as soon as the counter-strike is done, he's done. Like, that's all he has, right? And the Rich is here, and it's like, okay, Renekton should get a lot of value here with his ultimate, but they just kind of avoid him, push top, kill the Mel.
And Vikla didn't go back.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He stayed, and then he came over and surprised them.
Thì gần như không góp được bất kỳ một cái công sức gì cả.
A few things could have gone differently there, right? If they were all together faster, or if Yukal was able to do a little bit more damage there, if he had a little bit more time. But they kind of felt like, okay, we're not the ones starting this play, but we got to quickly react and get in here. Otherwise, we're going to lose everyone. And then they send everyone into that Renekton play, and it just doesn't work out. It's very close to working out, but the end result is a near 1,000 gold lead here for BNK. It was volatile, a very, very volatile fight. I can understand the thought process. Like 100% initially, I thought Rich was going to be able to do enough there, but it's just not meant to be.
Not enough. And also the fact that Andal had to get out of there very, very quickly. Willer had to use an early counter-strike very defensively. It wasn't exactly the way they wanted these fights to go. As Taeyeon and Kellen get another wave shoved towards this turret. It should be plate going over. And with all of that crystalline overgrowth, they definitely will be able to claim it, as the Slurkle is not able to stop Taeyeon from doing a lot of damage to Andal here.
Should be crystalline overgrowth and a plate.
Surely?
Probably.
Right, guys?
It's kind of risky always when you walk that far forward.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to do it. Respecting the polymorph potential of Andal here.
But eventually, these minions will start whittling away. They have a lot of pushing power right now. And both junglers are in the area, but still very difficult into this Milio to try to make something happen for QMDRX. So I think that plate should go over, but I guess not.
Not yet. Certainly not going to make it to the turret on this wave, as we do see a bit of aggression here from Vikla. Ooh, able to sidestep. And Yukal is
by the way,
actually looking kind of fine.
Coming over a little bit late, trying to look for something.
Yeah, LazyFeel actually getting the Arc of Ruin down, as now Taeyeon looking a little bit more healthy with the help of Kellen. Andal just barely survives.
Trying to run away here, Raptor
flash. Yeah, but still able to audaciously charge the minion wave to get the flash out of Andal. LazyFeel the only one with a summoner spell in that bottom lane for this KRX duo. And the fire kick is in fact going to annoy him. Yukal now having another shot as he does push back the Q, but once again, Vikla just barely survives and just walks it off.
Raptor's up here too, so I don't think they should try to push this any further. Although, as a Mel, you know, when you get to that point where you're like, I think I just execute him with one more auto, it's very tempting. A little back away. And even though it did not happen the first 2 times that we were suggesting maybe that plate would go down, Taeyun is able to get that first plate finally after that play there from Raptor, which gets the flash out of Ondil. Very successful gank there. And the solution is starting to pick up a significant lead here. As we're watching this top lane where we're just having a decent time so far. The Shen mastery not that high for a lot of our younger LCK players because he just wasn't meta.
Yeah, hasn't really been a thing for quite some time. So Rich, with the knowledge of the matchup, feeling pretty good at this point in time.
Yeah, Rich has played a lot of Shen games himself, actually, but I'm not trying to say that Clear doesn't know how to play Shen. I'm not trying to take anything away from Rich, but it does feel like in a lot of other regions, the Shen does a little bit better than how he looks here. It's more about his ability to warp team fights that we found a lot more success in the rare circumstances where the Shen is played not as support by Lens.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, you see a lot of Shen, mainly because of Lens. Just Leshens indeed. I think KRX also played a fair bit of it more recently as well. But Vikla is going to be able to get the rebuttal out of Yukal. Definitely a very long cooldown, as we can see. But he will just be clearing out minion waves. The Mel will still be absolutely fine. The culling is just going to be thrown into Andil here to soften up this bottom lane from KRX. They still have wild growth, obviously, so they should be all right. As Willa comes on over and finally finds this control ward, which he will be able to eliminate. And another plate, I think, going to go over to BNK.
Yeah, he's just so oppressive. He's just like, no. You guys can't back there. I'm going to waste even more of your time. I'm going to deny more farm.
Oh, really nice rebuttal there from Yukal. Orbit Deception value relatively high. As Vikla takes a lot of damage once again. The Spirit Rush comes down and he dies.
I just don't
Nghe vậy sao? Chết không hay.
We're going to have to watch that one again. We're going to have to watch that one again. Because Vikla gets Orb of Deception rebutted.
Yeah.
And then just like charms a cannon minion and then tries to fight and doesn't have his buttons.
Well, that might explain the example of what happened.
Okay, we're just not even going to watch the...
All right, that's because there's a little bit too much fighting happening down here towards the bottom side. Crescent Guard to try and split up the fight as Willa just flashes over the far wall. There's a great taunt from Clear, though. Locks down the Lulu. And even though Clear is losing lane pretty considerably, I mean, in team fights, he's looking real good.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying earlier. You know, it's the Shen that shows up, not the Shen in the 1v lane. That's the scary part, as Rich is also going to find out about the Titanic Hydra Q again.
Yep.
But
playing Shen is kind of like parenting, isn't it, Wolf? It's mainly about showing up.
Yes. And trying to convince your daughter to put the diaper on correctly.
There's Lazy Feel, unfortunately just going to get taken down by Taeyun here, as there was another potential fight around the dragon. That one goes over to KRX, so at least they get that, but their main carry now dead for the first time, and Clear getting some work done in this top lane.
Maybe he should rename himself to Wave Clear.
Đấy,
like
cái nam béo nó ghen đấy,
and then TP'd out. He's like, my job here is done.
Phá nó bắt đầu phá binh đấy.
Don't blame him.
As you see, initially, it looks like, okay, this could be a good fight here for Lazy Feel. Ondil has the wild growth, trying to defend it, but they get in here. They have the man advantage. And in this moment, Lazy Feel just,
He just wanted to be with his friends.
Yeah, he wanted to rejoin, let's just say.
Clear also wants to be with his friends, but none of them are here. As
Cố nhường mạng hợp lý rồi.
That Shen was never going to survive. He was in his refuge for a few moments, but unfortunately that isn't permanent.
I believe a small shutdown goes over to Lazy Feel as well with this play, so they'll put a dent in the gold deficit that he found himself in.
Yep, also does have his cull cashing in about 24 stacks, and by about, I mean exactly. Now 23, and if we continue counting, it will continue to go down as these minions die.
True.
So he will be able to get that extra bit of gold.
It's
game 6, everyone. Sometimes I get distracted by things in front of me.
Okay, so watch this. Okay, he's just trying to, I guess, set up a proxy and then found out that the lane
The bad guys arrived.
Yeah. He did a little bit back, but that's all. Vikla is not having a good game.
Yeah, that is just trying to charge the passive there with the rebuttal. Yukal is able to push him away once again. Feels like this Mel into the Ahri is working, despite how things went in the earlier stages of the game. Got that solo kill, and now he's off to the races.
So LazyField going to clear this wave, getting closer to that call cash in. I think how this game is looking like it's going to go is when we go to putting Taeyun in the mid lane right where he is now, and they're just trying to push for those advantages. How well Raptor and Vikla can set up Taeyun for success to take the lead that he has right now and end this game early. And I don't mean like the next is for 26 minutes, but they need to turn this 400 gold lead into like a 3,000 gold lead by 25 minutes. And if they could do that, which their comp is set up well to do, I would say that they're in a position to win this game right now. But if they can't, this lead is kind of finicky and kind of small in this game. And UCAL is becoming a bigger problem minute by minute.
And if I was to sort of assess these compositions based on your Kizaja rankings, I would probably say that KRX are feeling a lot more comfortable in that regard, right? Like a lot of press R synergy does belong to them. And just allow LazyField to get the carrying done, and that's exactly what he's starting to do here as he throws down the ulti in the mid lane. Not going to get a massive amount of value, and Taeyun does still have the culling, so it could be a little bit of a rough time. These are the last little bit there. Get that Arc of Ruin down.
We do have a potential collapse here onto this Mel. They don't commit. Willer blocks them, and so they kind of back away. A bit of a mini K-Ram almost in this game right now. We have other junglers just hanging out with the 80 carries.
Thanh trừng này là bén nha, thanh trừng này là bén nha. Gần cây, nửa cây máu hơn rồi. Jack đi rừng này.
Vikla's making his way in. He's going to help Taeyun lock down that kill, and the rest of them do back away. Rich is in, like, dire straits down here. Does have to flash away from clear. They're just going to have a flash advantage now. The Renekton was doing so well. He is still over 30 CS ahead.
Rừng có đang gấp mà. Rừng vì biết vẫn đang hơn tiền mà, cứ bình tĩnh.
Losing that trade again, and on the top side of the map, I mean, this is going to be the Herald going over, and like Clear is just going to grab another overgrowth proc here. It's doing so much damage to this turret. It's a massive wave. Rich is going to try to engage on. I don't know if he should.
Yeah, the empowered Titanic Hydra hit
Một con
is
sen xanh thì kể ra cũng đáng sợ phết đấy chứ
much damage, and like the minions just don't last. As in this play here, you know, I said it's basically a 3v3 from the bottom lane, just moved into the mid lane, and they explode Willer here.
I mean, Willer's Counter-Strike did absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Vikla's like, I'm helping! UCAL's like, you still can't hit me, by the way.
Oh, we got another fight as Taeyun does get cleansed. No polymorph value there from LazyField and Andil, but the big shield from the Shen will come in as UCAL tries to rebut the taunt. And Clear is getting caught in a weird position. The explosion comes through, and oh man, if KRX win this game, UCAL is going to have a heck of a celebration.
He's also going to have probably unanimous POM votes as we're going to see the Renekton TP as the Ahri was about to take out that turret. Would have been first brick if no resources were given there, so I think the right call for Rich to protect that money. This game is very close, but I think it's starting to become very QM favored, despite the gold deficit right now.
Is that the tempo vibe you're feeling?
I'm feeling it.
I mean, I don't have a feeling about the tempo vibes right now, and I normally do, just inherently, but this time, not so much. As Clear doesn't have the ulti available, and BNK Fearex is going to have to stand united without him. As UCAL just throwing some buttons around, it looks like this Drake should be going over to KMDRX with the amount of control that they do have. But
there's the Herald drop here to try to get Prio during this Dragon. This will be a big challenge here for KMDRX as to how they want to play this.
Well, they are just going to take the turret.
They're like, we like our turret more than Ocean Soul. That's not that great.
But actually,
but they don't get either.
KMDRX are just going to back away from that as well, man. This is some Rise Group macro right here.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
We don't want the Dragon or our turret, actually. Just get lazy for that safe lead right there.
Well, they do manage to at least do that. And Rich is going to show up looking for Vikla as Willer comes in. Does get the counter-strike this time around as the Ruthless Predator comes through. UCAL steals away the kill, and the Mel moves to 3-1. And now
Nari có thể chết cách dễ dàng như vậy được nhờ? Con chiêu cuối con tốc biến.
Doesn't have his turret anymore, so we'll just have to run away, which gives them a potential flank angle here, a bit of a wraparound potentially for B&K, but there's a ward there, and
UCAL does so much damage, man, on this Mel, as that is going to be the Drake down to 3 health. no one was in range for a steal.
It kind of
feels a little lucky.
Doesn't it kind of feel like Taeyun, who just won that trade, could have collapsed in to try to contest the dragon? They kind of just kept pushing.
But there's a mid lane to be pushed.
I guess so. I mean, they did push it. There
you go.
Vikla dies and the dragon goes over.
And now Taeyun's going to be able to push it even quicker, because that's the name of the blades that he just purchased.
Ooh.
Yep, it's the Navori brand. Nicely done. But also there is 2 items on Lazy Field as well.
Wait, isn't it a flicker blade, not a quick blade?
Oh, yeah, bây giờ mình có thể giải thích bằng cách đó là tiết kiệm. Tiết kiệm để phục vụ mục đích giao tranh tổng sắp tới.
No longer quick.
That's probably why he pushed mid lane, I think. Because he should have quickly rotated over, but he had the flicker blades on his mind.
Yeah.
And needed to flicker towards the mid lane, I think, is what you need to do there. What even is a flicker? It's just turning things on and off real fast.
Yeah. It's like when the lights kind of go on like in and out.
Like when a toddler learns about a light switch.
Or it's someone who plays that old Master System game Flickies, which I really enjoyed quite a lot.
Yeah!
Where you like jump and then the cats go like, wow, and they fall.
What I really like, Wolf, is your very relatable references that you make to stuff that everyone has experienced.
Everybody
in
knows
their lives.
Flickies, come on. Go play it right now.
Definitely do not know that at all. And I'm quite old, you know, I probably... I do know that song. Flickies.
I don't think I did it right. I don't think I did it justice. I think that just sounds like a generic sound that could be anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like my dishwasher just...
In my head, it's the Flicky song. It may not have translated there, but...
All right. Well, let us know on Twitter if you like Flickies as well. Leave a comment maybe on the VOD. Okay.
I do correct myself. It was originally an arcade game, I believe. But
there you go.
So... The game state here, let's see if KRX can kind of get out of the hole they are in right now map-wise. Like, they don't have any map control. That mid-turret value that BNK got earlier is so powerful, right? They did give the dragon over eventually, but...
Oh, this is a possible angle. Is Vikla looking to try and turn it around? Will it take a lot of damage? Yeah, he's going aggressive because he has the backup from his teammates.
But there's no wave, and that turret is very healthy, so I guess...
It's fine.
It's totally okay.
Yep.
I think there's a one way to kind of boil down the way this game is going, and way most of, I'll say all 3 of these games have gone to one way or another. You know, it's the nerves, right? The pressure of how much the stakes are in this game, trying to get that 6th place spot, trying to get out of the hole, right? Trying to earn the opportunity to play in Wonju. You know, there's a lot on the line here, and this matchup is against your direct opposition. They're dead even, 5-11, same game score, -10 before this series. So there is very much a tension to that, right? Like,
oh yeah,
I don't want to understate how you may be feeling very nervous if you're one of these 10 players.
Mùa sau có làm kịch chính với anh Lưu hay không á? Khó nói lắm anh em ạ. Cái này quyết định thì vẫn nằm ở bên phía online thôi. Tôi mong muốn lắm nhưng mà vấn đề là họ có trong cái ước mơ không, cũng không biết nữa.
But they haven't been able to find that much over the last few minutes, and this, scaling Mel starting to become potentially a problem that's going to be very difficult to deal with. I do think the Shen is another scaling element here for BNK, and the side lane power that he has can really help them secure these dragons, but they're down a dragon right now already, so that's going to buy a lot of extra time for LazyField in this game. I personally still got the vibes here for QMDRX. I think they're in the stronger position right now, but we'll see what BNK can do over these next few minutes, especially if they can turn this dragon potentially into a one-team fight, into a larger gold lead. There's a lot of standing gold on the map. That bottom turret hasn't been taken. That top turret is also very low.
Yeah, I think getting Soul Point will be a really big deal here for KMDRX because BNK PRX can really cheat tempo around the map. With the Shen, just creates sort of an easy
Làm tí chào mừng trở lại VNTV. Đánh bản quyền chết tươi. Không đơn giản thì các bạn nghĩ đâu, thành trường này cũng kinh đấy chứ.
Just typewritering over them. Does find a fair bit of turret
ăn được hay không á? Tầm này đang ngang, khó nói. Và từ nãy đến giờ thì như các bạn thấy đấy, bên đội 1 để đánh nguy hiểm, đánh cảm giác váng đầu của mẹ được. May mà thằng Pháp Sư, thằng Uko này nó còn đang xanh, không bắn này mất từ lâu rồi.
LazyField goes in, Taeyun gets flashed on, and there is the ulti out from the Shen. They baited him so far in. And now Rich is going to show up. Let's see whether the Crocodile can get some value now as the Mel gets in there as well. And there is the Zinzao going down, slicing and dicing as Rich goes forward and pushes away BNK-FIRX.
All right, so it's a jungler for an 80 carry trade. That means there's a smite available here for QMDRX, but they don't have a lot of damage.
Mà lại rồng thì là vẫn ok nhá. Thế ba rồng mà có đấy.
Damage, but with the Mel and the prio they
Thế trận này
have,
vẫn
they
đang
are
cân.
going to be able to take
Khó
this
nói
dragon.
lắm.
It is going
Nào
to be soul
thắng trận này,
point.
tầm này chưa nói điều gì
So
cả.
many resources were used to win that duel for Taeyun, and they just don't have them for the ensuing team fight. This Mel is just getting so huge.
Yeah, UCal is becoming a very large problem.
But like, so much of this, this scrap was...
Look at the shield that Taeyun gets,
Lazy feels like, I have this all-in angle. He's like, nice barrier. And the Taeyun's like, have you heard of the real wild growth? It's a wild shield. You're like, whoa, that shield is wild. And then he can't actually push any further. And the Rich shows up. If Rich is actually here a little bit earlier, I think they might have actually been able to do even more in this fight. He gets a massive Q here. Yeah. And now they get Prio on the Dragon. They're the ones with the jungler. And being a Rich.
Yeah, Rich went from doing a lot of really good things to really having some trouble as Clear has finished the Dusk and Dawn. Raptor's going to move on down. And they are both a little bit frightened of what Rich is capable of. And he will back away safely. Still 40 CS in the lead.
This turret is so healthy. It only has one plate off of, which is crazy.
Vikla does have his ulti. He's going to have to use it here.
Tôi nghĩ là lá chắn lúc đấy nó dày là bởi vì nó cộng hưởng từ cả spell, từ cả phép bổ trợ lá chắn cộng với cả cái move của con Milio nữa.
They've had so much Lucian prio here with Taeyun that this turret is just kind of untouched. Pretty crazy.
It is collecting Crystalline Overgrowth as well. Just walks on over. Good old Trinity Force and Empower is going to mean that there is no way the Raptor was outsmiting that. So no red buff allowed here for BNK-FIRX.
No, not going to be on the cards. Clear, again, big side lane threat. Rich is starting to be able to handle him a little bit better here. He's just going to avoid the conflict.
Lại đánh từ nhà đến trường, lại đánh từ nhà đến trường. Lần này thì không có xin ra để cứu rồi. Rồi, từ nhà đến trường luôn.
Rich has Conqueror, which actually is a big deal in these really longer fights.
Yeah. And is actually trading out very well. Level 17 to level 15. And I know Clear is relatively close to leveling up again, but he just has left his lane so many times that Rich really does have a big lead.
It feels like both of these top laners have made really global impact, which is kind of bad news for the Shen, because he's the one who's supposed to have the edge on that. But Rich has been showing up big in team fights. Even though he's 0-0 and 2, a lot of fights that looked like they were going to be decisively won by BNK were kind of turned around by Rich. Even though he get kills, they're like, well, we got to leave. This Renekton's here. This is a problem.
And also manages to take this turret towards the bottom side as well. And Andal has to flash. Vikla is still looking for him. Gets the wild growth as well. Andal, that was beautiful. As Clear looking to make his way over. Lazyfield not quite out of it just yet, but does avoid. The wind becomes lightning, and now UCal is going to try and get out of here. Dash cannons away. Wind becomes lightning, going to miss once again. As Willa goes in, goes golden, and then has to flash away immediately. As Raptor, Crescent Guard comes through. Rich. He is a very scary crocodile. Time to leave. Yeah, and they will just be able to exit. But Rich is just playing bouncer now, man. Like, he shows up, he's like the parents have come home and the party's over.
Yeah, the party is over.
I made a lot of parenting references today. I really need to stop.
Yeah, well, it is, you know, part of our identity now, but...
That's true. We were double dads in that thing that we did a little while ago.
Yeah. Okay, so... Resetting.
Okay.
Baron... Now kind of on the table here for both of these teams. 3-item Yunara with Kraken Slayer. It's just going to chew through that Baron so quickly. I mean, look at the Mel items here. Death Cap almost ready. When UCal has that, the Baron just goes so fast. Their turn is a little awkward, though, right? They have a Renekton and a Jax, but the Lulu isn't necessarily going to be able to set up a turn on its own. So you really have to feel like you have enough control, like maybe get a pick or push somebody low, trade in the mid lane with your wild growth, and then say, all right, well, Taeyun has to back. We have a window here where we have enough damage to rush this down. But I think if QMDRX get this Baron, the whole trajectory of this game changes massively. Like, the gold is just straight up exactly even here at 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is crazy.
But with the Baron, they can actually get map control back. They can finally take that mid turret out, which they need to do so desperately so that Willer can actually do more than, you know, threaten flashes in side lanes. He wants to be able to actually get control aggressively.
This game really, like, I feel like at this point we've probably like seen at least all of the outer turrets going down, and maybe some inners have fallen. And we're trying to set up vision around the map and things like that. I feel like we're still in like a mid
này
game
bắt
that's been
đầu bắn
extended.
thốn
Yeah, I feel
rồi.
like I'm like in
Chỉ là
14
setup
and a half
làm
minutes in
sao,
this game right
macro
now.
làm
Yeah,
sao
right.
cho một cái thế đánh
Feels
nó
very weird.
kiểu
There's
chủ
the
động hơn
flag kick.
tí.
Lazyfield doesn't like
Đấy,
that.
kiểu
Dashes
này này.
forward, but then the Culling almost wipes him out.
Ui,
Wild
nguyên
growth
cây luôn này, tí
needs to
chết.
be used just to keep him alive.
Taewon is just frankly smashing Lazyfield in this game right now. He just keeps
Lừa, hai bên đọt nhau, hai bên đọt nhau.
Even with Ondale's help, he just cannot actually fight back at all.
And the
Taewon's making
Infinity
it
Edge is done. Like his item spike was pretty incredible at that point in time.
I mean, with that spike, I mean, Taewon makes him look pitiful as Vikla looking for a potential charm angle here with Raptor's help. I think they're not selling this very well.
This is Ocean Soul, as they do have their
Mắt vào,
ward
yes
turned
sir.
off.
Mắt
And
cắm
now the
vô.
teleport comes in. Rich turning up. Let's see whether Willa can lock down the smite, as they do have a control ward in
Rich
this
di
brush as
chuyển rồi.
well.
Can use the Dragon to taxi
Xanh
onto the
chín là
carries
50-50
here.
này, 50-50 này.
This is a dangerous stay if
Anh
they do
không dùng
decide
là
to
win,
do
anh không
so.
dùng là win.
That's clear, looking to make his
Ăn
way in,
được
but
là
Yukao finds
win.
him down to 50% health, as now Willa is in amongst it as they do get the...
Thôi.
And that is going to be the Drake denying the soul. Raptor immediately then dies, so as Vikla
Lazyfield.
throws himself into that backline at the same time, but Yukao takes out the both of them, and then the snare is going to land.
Còn
Yukao should
Uka-
be able to get
còn
this
Uka
one as
là
well,
còn-
as it's a
còn
triple
đam,
for the
còn đam.
Rel. Oh man,
Con
it's
mèo
your
này khỏe lắm.
solo Q nightmare as Taeyeon
Đợi bơi,
is
đừng
trying
cản
to
sâu
save
quá,
it,
đợi
but
bơi.
Rich gets on top of him, and Taeyeon outplays it. Now Yukao, can you do it? There's the Quadra, and Kellen eats some honey fruit and walks away.
Mất rồng à. Mất rồng ở đấy là cũng không hay đâu, thực ra thì là lỗ đấy.
Mel is such a prize group champ, man. Oh my god.
Vẫn cân thôi, nhưng mà kiểu tiếc cái linh hồn thôi, không sao. Vẫn chơi được.
We don't really have any other CC.
Đi đánh mà hay
just
quá.
like kiting away, but can't actually get access to Lazyfield. So Lazyfield gets a lot done here, right? Kites back, does a lot of damage. It's only when Vikla gets on top of him does he die. And it turns into this really janky 3v3 fight where Taeyeon has threats he has to deal with, so he can't actually get to Yukao. And Yukao's just slowly whittling away. And then Willer goes in here hoping to get Taeyeon, gets his flash, and the Rich gets this stun. And then Taeyeon is unable to avoid this Q here from Yukao. Watch this. Oh, Yukao just
straight into it.
No, he's like, if you walk away, you're gonna die 100%. You have to come here. I know where to place this. 7 kills in a Magi Soul Stealer.
Thoát về, quay
100
về
goal
thôi,
lead.
để
Actually,
đâm
sorry,
theo
0
làm
goal
cái
lead for
gì.
QMDRX, but I feel like Yukao thinks this
Bạn thích
game
đâm thì bạn
is
đâm
done.
thôi.
Oh,
Tiền cân
yeah.
luôn
He's
kìa.
the guy who votes no
I actually
surrender
think
if they lose the next team fight.
Yukao might actually already have his his feet on the table. Like, he might be squatting right now, ready to do his celebration.
He's mentally preparing.
Oh, 100%. He's actually probably discussing it. Might be why the macro is falling apart here a bit for QMDRX. But they're going to move over towards the Baron right now. As Andil going to speed himself up with the heal, avoids the calling out of Taeyeon.
This is not a safe Baron. This is not a safe Baron.
This is a
Thôi,
rise
bị
Baron.
hôn rồi.
And that's a scary one. As BNK FRX are going to move on over. Let's see whether Rich can find a flank angle. As Vikla is going to say not really. As they do get the wild growth. And Raptor is in a lot of trouble. Willa going to jump on top of him. Yunara already dead though. As Willa goes golden at the weirdest time. And finds himself a cooldown on his counter strike. As in goes clear, but he's mopped up by Rich, but he gets knocked off on the strike. And then immediately the Zinzao goes down. The Jax follows suit though, and Yukao is now the last man standing really, because Andil cannot really help out.
But because Yukao's the last man standing, he needs to not walk up here.
Oh, wait a second, he knew it. As well as he finds the snare, the charm landed though as he flashes over the wall, looks for the Q and misses it entirely, and now Vikla is almost dead. Oh, the fire kick doesn't quite connect as the dash forward from Taeyeon, and he gets his revenge.
But
Yukao, yeah, head in hands.
Không giỏi.
You just lost all your
Tiền lượng xấu rồi.
You could have just
mất cái Baron này nặng đấy.
for the Baron. They don't have a lot of vision there, but he could have played slower, waited for BNK to go over the Baron and been the best tool to deny. Instead, he thought he could get the outplay there onto Vikla, and it did not work out. And it feels like he had his Magi's. We were talking about him already setting up the ceremony, but it all just goes to shambles. As in this fight, the polymorph goes down here. Raptor, his taunt guard is so insane. The taunt is great as well. But Yukao isn't able to layer the damage the way he wants to here. It's just too risky. He's not hitting any prio targets, so he's not doing the work that's required for them to win this fight without a Yunara. And you can see here he tries to get the root onto Kellen, on Zigzao, so he wants to get that execute, gets a poke onto Taeyeon. And from here, I'm like, okay, well, maybe he'll wait a moment and then try to look for the deny on the Baron, but he walks up, invites Vikla in, thinks he can get the outplay here with the ultimate, and thinks he has enough damage, but as you can see when the ult hits, he's nowhere close, and then Taeyeon is just going to clean him up.
Yeah.
He knows it.
He does.
And we all do. And it's still a playable game here, but it just got so much harder. I mean, the goal lead that didn't exist before is now 4,000.
And it feels like those vibes have certainly gone back the way of BNK KRX. As UCal, Wind Becomes Lightning is going to be returned to Raptor. But not too much more going to happen after that. The Dragon, up and available in about 40 seconds time, and that will be Soul Point available for BNK KRX, or a Soul if KRX can finally get over there, but I don't think they're going to be able to do so. And that gold lead is only extending. We mentioned before that not a whole lot of turrets had fallen down. Well, now a whole lot of turrets have fallen down, as Taeyun just going to push them all away with that culling. Charm is going to connect onto Rich as well. A lot of damage out of Vikla with that true damage.
Yeah, he's
returning.
Really getting a lot done. Just going to have to sit on this Mel, wave clear here, and try to survive for the next 90 seconds. I think losing an inhibitor is very likely. Almost feels inevitable at this point, but what can they do in return? Here, they don't have any great teleport wards. Like, there's a ward next to the Dragon Pit, but I think that one is just going over to Raptor here. They're going to use this Baron to guarantee that we go to 7 Elemental Drakes here, 3 apiece for Ocean Soul.
There you go.
But BNK just back away. No inhibitor goes down. The wave clear did a lot of heavy lifting here for UCal. Does now have his Shadow Flame, which is a much more conservative item choice than the Majais we saw earlier that he's now sold.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's wait and see what happens next, because I want to say, again, that BNK, like, they got the lead. They've got this Ahri that's super ahead now. I mean, like, down 400 gold, but super online because they have so much more map presence. They have a Fed Lucian. The Ahri has a ton more agency than she's had for most of this game. There's a Shen that can also protect her when she wants to go fishing for charms. And the Mikhails is the best recourse if LazyField gets hit by any of this CC. They're going to reset here and now try to open this base, as UCal's going to TP after setting up that bottom wave to try to clear out this top wave. It's an inner that's under siege here.
Yeah,
this game looks like it's going to go on.
Yeah, well, it certainly is. Infinity Edge is now done, so there are at least 4 items on LazyField. He's not behind by as much as he was before. Just a BF sword, I guess, based on what they have in their inventories right now. But it's still 4,000 gold for Taeyun. He's probably sitting on an absolute fortune right now. As level 20 is hit for the Shen. And BNK KRX have complete and utter control of this game.
They absolutely do. Willer is on the flank, trying to see if he can get access to the back line here. I think that's the best bet they're going to get. TP from clear into the bottom lane. Once they see him, maybe they spring the trap. It's a little bit too late. Willer doesn't, I think, see it in time there, and they back away. And they're just going to be happy that the Nexus is still alive. As this Baron fades away, they only lose 1 inhibitor. Maybe there's a path back in, especially if UCal could start hitting some of these enemy champions. Right now, he's just pushing Vikla away, but his damage is sorely needed in the defense here of the rest of the base.
Yeah, BNK KRX, I think, want to continue pushing here, which is kind of dangerous. As you mentioned, they don't have the Baron anymore. Probably going back for a reset could have been a good idea, as Raptor going to have to use a very defensive ultimate, and in the meantime, UCal finds the ulti onto Vikla, who just explodes. Once again, it's a solo kill here for the mid laner on KRX.
I mean, if you look at the gold leads, it's only his. It's only him. He is the guy. He's him. He lost his Majais earlier, but
I cannot wait. He's gonna do like a Misty flip off that bench.
I'm worried about, like, I think it's probably in his contract that he's not supposed to be doing stuff like that because it could injure him, but
it's all the more potent if he's ignoring his contract when he does it.
It just feels
right in front of the CEO as well, Kium. It'd be absolutely gorgeous.
I mean, it is. We're setting up to have that scenario. Taeyun is under fire here.
Yeah, LazyField going in. Oh no, Andal sacrifices himself. Definitely a good idea. Takes a lot of damage from that Q from UCal.
UCal should be fine here. There's a pushing wave though.
Coming over to help out.
They just. It's funny how a lot of this game has been like Taeyun just slapping LazyField down. It's really high contrast here for UCal on his screen. I've never seen this before. As he just has a lot of damage. He's going to look for one more Q here. Gets the root, guarantees it. The ult comes through. Flash is bizarre.
Did he flash? He did.
Yeah, I think Ahri flashed there.
A
little bit of an odd move.
All right, this whole game, LazyField has just not been able to hold a candle to Taeyun. Taeyun is just obliterating him. And so he gets the kill onto the Lulu, and they get a little bit more control back. Inhibitor's up in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And once that happens, I mean, we'll probably have a GA for LazyField at that point, and it's going to come down to one more Baron fight.
Well, the Baron is going to be up in 30 seconds as Raptor goes in.
Bị lừa các bạn ơi, bị lừa. Ui, nhưng mà con Sen có chịu thế.
There are a lot of bad guys there. Rich goes in as well, and then slices and dices his way immediately out as the culling. Oh my God, the value as Willa dives on top of Vikla and then immediately gets out of there. So many things are on cooldown now.
10 seconds until Baron. Can they actually get over and do this? UCal has his ultimate. He has so much damage if they actually are in that pit.
Oh, LazyFeel had to go back to base.
LazyFeel backed, but BNK are just going to set a trap. There's still a little bit of time here. That ward being cleared actually is a dead giveaway that they're obviously not doing it right now. Raptors starting it up, but they will be able to muster up a contest, it looks like here. They're trying to slow play this where they actually have 2 on Baron and the rest are pushing the mid wave because Taewoon is so big.
The Sky's Orb is such a weird position. It's not actually on the Baron.
Yeah.
They did use it from LazyFeel. He threw it into that brush onto the side, but it looks like BNK KRX are going to back away. As, all right, there is a little bit of a repel onto the fire kick. The charm is going to go wide as now UCal
is going to hit some of these Qs.
For a few of these Qs, exactly right. Some ultis back up and available very, very soon, namely Taewoon's.
It's got that damage.
And LazyFeel, 3 seconds.
UCal's mana is at a precarious position as well here. If he runs out of steam, it could be a huge problem. And they may just have to let this Ocean Dragon go. But when so much of your damage is in this UCal poke, it feels so bad. We're 40 minutes in this game, by the way.
Yeah, this is the 7th Dragon of the game. And it's game number 6. Oh, goodness me. Well, Clear has found Rich on a flank angle. The Dragon is down to 50%. Taewoon finds that culling once again. And Willer is almost just dead. And now Raptor just goes forward. Now you've seen Vikla find the charm angle, but doesn't quite hit it. Needed a little bit of extra distance, and that's Ocean Soul over to BNK KRX, but they claim no kills in the fight.
Now they can try to go Baron because they know everyone's backed away here. They have to deal with that mid wave, and there's just no answer. So they're going to get Ocean Soul and they're going to get Baron. The good news for KRX is the Nexus is still alive, but that's about where it ends.
Trận này thằng TU đánh kinh đi.
Nhìn cái đống đồ của con Lucian kìa. Let's have a look at this fight one more time.
So like they cannot actually get LazyFeel into position to carry this game. I feel like no matter what happens, like he's 2 levels down.
Cái đội hình căn bản là đội hình của bên LazyFeel nó bị thiếu cái yếu tố mở. Đội hình này mở không tốt, không có tanker. Phụ thuộc hơi nhiều vào con Rách với con Renekton để mở, con Renekton thì đã bị giữ chết bởi con Sen rồi. Rách thì cái cách mở của nó đơn giản quá, dễ bị counter quá. Đúng không anh Dương Nguyễn? Không có phương án để mở giao tranh, nên là cứ bể. Nên là con Lucian ở bên kia nó bốc rất thoải mái, nó thanh trừng có những lúc mà nó lướt lên, thậm chí còn sát người con Z, con Rách, nhưng con Rách kéo làm gì được.
Than LazyFeel if they went. Look at the damage.
Yeah,
LazyFeel is less than half of his damage.
Oh, Clear might be in a little bit of trouble here. The old target, the Shen tactic is a decent one as there's a teleport in from UCal. Clear is flashing away. And now UCal just put his teleport on cooldown for no reason at all. And this is going to be Vikla pushing into this inhibitor turret.
See, UCal is super frustrated with this game right now.
Yeah.
Like he has 8 kills. He's like, I can't do more. He's the only goal.
Muốn Rách mà làm được như là anh Dương Nguyễn nói thì nó phải kiểu là đi vòng, gây bất ngờ cơ. Chứ còn đang trước mặt sự tập trung của cả 5 thằng bên kia, nó nhìn con Rách bỗng dưng bật quay tay lên, nó lùi lại ngay. Bao giờ chả phải vẫn quay tay trước nên là nó không có sự đột biến. Đấy anh thấy không? Quay tay xong chỉ để chặn cái chiêu kia thì đâu có giải quyết được vấn đề gì nhiều đâu. Bị ép lui ngay, Rách máu yếu quá. Đấy, ngoài những lúc quay tay ra thì chả làm gì được. Oh shit.
And Jankos, I guess, is only half a fraud at the end of the day.
Taewoon, he just popped off. I mean, just watching what he was able to do, with some help, obviously, from Kellen to the enemy bottom duo in the mid lane all game 3, was why they had such a chance, despite Vikla having a really rough game. You can see it on his face as well. He's going to bow to the crowd, but he knows that this was not his best day. Same for Raptor, who had some really interesting decision-making throughout this series, but Taewoon stayed strong, and he's the new member of BNK.
And the player as well had a pretty stable series.
Yeah, he was fine, for sure.
Apart from some of the moments.
But I cannot overstate how much more this Lucian did. You remember that time when Rich went into the fight and he's like, I'm a level 20 Renekton. I'm actually going to do some stuff here. And he like goes in and presses Q, and then Taeyeon like two-shots him.
By the way, Vikla knew. He just like indicated like, Taeyeon, don't worry, we got behind this guy. And he carried us to victory. And honestly, Taeyeon's Lucian was out of control in that game. Every time he pressed the culling, someone almost died. Like, they had to use everything just to survive. And so team fights just never really felt real in this one.
Emperor Kellen.
Heck yeah.
I do think that one of my favorite stories this season, obviously everyone talks about the Diablo Taeyeon trade, but what's more exciting for me than any of that and all the drama that ensued and where we are end result-wise, which is still a little bit up in the air, is that Taeyeon, I feel like, is finally getting recognition here in the LCK. You know, he spent so much of his career being the guy who almost was, the guy who was too aggressive.
Thôi, có lẽ ngày hôm nay chúng ta phải chia tay nhau ở đây thôi. Tôi muốn ngồi với các bạn lâu hơn một chút xíu, nhưng mà do chưa ăn cơm tối, chưa được một hạt gạo nào vào bụng từ lúc tối đến bây giờ, có lẽ là xin phép anh em cho tôi xuống kênh để tôi đi ăn tối một tí ạ. Chán, hôm nay toàn tạch nhiệm vụ. Chà, kiếm được cái có hình như đúng một duy nhất nhiệm vụ mà Mỹ Hạnh giao cho mà thôi. Bye bye mọi người. Chào mọi người nhá, rảnh rảnh qua đây với tôi nhá. Bye bye mọi người, mai gặp lại sau. Bye bye, đi ăn đây. Bye bye anh Dương Nguyễn nhá. Bye bye mọi người. Bye bye Mỹ Hạnh. Bye bye.